The Charlottesville Tom Sox and the Strasburg Express have combined to win 7 of the last 8 Valley Baseball League championships, and tonight starts the road to possibly one of those two teams winning the 2023 VBL championship as the Tom Sox and the Express face off in the VBL semifinals with Game 1 starting right now. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into Tom Sox Baseball on Tom Sox TV. I'm Nathan Schwartz, joined by Gianni Maltese. And Gianni, the Tom Sox barely were able to scrape through in round 1 of the playoffs. What do they need to do tonight to set the tone for this semifinal matchup?
Well, I can guarantee you they want to start off on a better foot than they did last round. You just can't start a round like that, especially the semifinals. Just continue to work their way into these games and just efficient batting up and down the lineup, as well as try to get a better start out of Zach Mack tonight.
Yeah, Mike Eggert was absolutely phenomenal last night. Goes 8 innings, had a little bit of trouble early, 5 hits, gives up a 2-run bomb in the 4th inning, really dialed in after that, goes 4 scoreless to end it. I don't think Zach Mack's going to go 8 innings tonight, but if the Tom Sox can get 3 or 4 quality innings from him tonight, I think that's going to be a really good step.
Length along with quality is going to be key tonight, as we don't have the most pitchers available tonight, but we're going to take advantage of what we can and hope he can go the distance tonight.
And let's take a look at this Strasburg lineup. Reese Woody, the center fielder, will bat leadoff. Logan Vaughn, the first baseman, will bat second. Mitchell Smith, who sent Strasburg to the semifinal round with a 3-run walk-off homer last night, he's batting third and playing third. Victor Castillo, the left fielder, bats cleanup. Michael O'Shaughnessy is in a 5 spot, being the DH tonight. Ty Hooks, the catcher, is batting 6th. Anthony LaSala, the shortstop, bats 7th. Cade Parker bats 8th at second base. And Jason Hodges, the right fielder, bats 9th. Zach Mack ready on the mound. His last appearance was on the 25th of July, and today is the 31st, and we are underway here in Game 1 of the VBL semifinals right at 7 o'clock.
As you mentioned, in his last appearance, he went 2 innings, allowed 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Hopefully we can get a couple more innings out of him here tonight.
First 2 pitches for Mack are down low, so put the count 2-0 to Reese Woody, who's putting together quite the season for Strasburg. He's riding a 12-game hitting streak where he's had 4 multi-hit games in that stretch, and right off the bat, he's ahead 3-0.
Definitely someone you don't want to get down 3-0 to. He's hitting .320 on the season, 29 games played, so we'll see if he can find his pitch right here.
Matt goes to the fastball on the 3-0, and that's in there for the first strike. Mack very heavy with the fastball, 3-pitch mix, fastball, curveball, slider. Goes to that fastball 72% of the time. 3-1 slider, that's down low, and so a 5-pitch walk to start things off for Reese Woody. It's the one thing that the Tom Sox pitching staff avoided doing last night. Eggert did not walk a batter in his 8 innings of work. David Utagawa did walk a batter in that 9th inning, so only the 1 walk allowed for Charlottesville last night. Right off the bat, a walk issued.
Talk about efficient pitching. Eggert, name of the game, man.
So Mack comes back with a fastball, and that's 5 of the first 6 pitches that he's thrown that have been down low for balls.
He's going to have to find that strike zone, and right here, Ferentz and Mack just going to talk things over a little bit, make sure they're on the same page.
In a series like this, and in a matchup between these two teams that's been so highly contested all season long, a lot of close games, a lot of really good battles between these two teams so far this season, it doesn't take much for one team to really find a momentum boost and take a big lead against the other team.
We saw how early the Front Royal Cardinals were able to jump on us in the first game, and you just don't want to let it get away from them. So good call here just to calm things down and make sure Mack and Ferentz know what they're doing.
And here's Logan Vaughn, first baseman tonight out of Texas A&M Corpus Christi, already heading the count 1-0. Woody leads off of first, the 1-0. That's down in the dirt. And 2-0 now the count on Vaughn, who is 4 for 14 so far this postseason. That's a .286 average, 2 doubles, 5 runs driven in for him. And against Charlottesville this season, he was 2 for 4 with an RBI and 2 walks.
Definitely someone you have to look out for in the lineup.
Very balanced lineup for Strasburg, 1 through 9. There goes the runner Woody. The throw down from Ferentz is not going to be in time. A really good throw and tag by the Charlottesville defense, but Woody is able to get in there for the first stolen base of the night.
Really good throw there by Ferentz. Couldn't really put it any more on the money. He had a really good jump there, Woody.
And it was on a fastball. Always try to go on the pitches where it's going to be off speed. And for Mackey would be the curveball or the slider. So Woody, with his good jump, he's on second base. Still nobody out here in this top of the first inning. The 2-1, that's cut on and missed by Vaughn to even the count at 2.
As you mentioned earlier, we'll see if he goes to his put-away pitch, that fastball. He likes that fastball a lot, as you mentioned.
Mack struck out 11 batters over 7 2/3 innings over 4 appearances in the regular season. Their 2-2 pitch is lined right up the middle and into center for a base hit. It's not going to be deep enough to bring home the runner Woody, so put runners on the corners and still nobody out for Strasburg.
And the first hit of the ball game goes to Vaughn and the Express.
So that'll bring up Mitchell Smith, who, you remember, I talked about it in the open, an extra inning, 3-run walk-off home run last night back in Strasburg against the Woodstock River Bandits to send Strasburg to the semifinal round. Doesn't get much more clutch than that, and now right here he grounds one up the middle. Kyle Edwards flips to Martinez for one. The throw to first is not going to be in time, so mark that down as an RBI fielder's choice for Mitchell Smith, and 3 batters in, the Strasburg Express hold a 1-0 lead.
I was just about to say, you would take that trade if getting 1 run in and getting that double play, but just a couple seconds away from being able to get that play. We'll take the out, but it's 1-0 already.
So Vaughn eliminated on the base pass. Mitchell Smith takes his place at first base, and now Smith takes off on the pitch, and he is into second base without a throw, the second stolen base of the inning so far for Strasburg. And it seems like early on the Express are going to try and beat Charlottesville at its own game, and that's the stolen base and moving runners over with small ball. Smith now on second. There's that sweeping curveball for Zach Mack to put the count 0-2.
Castillo's hitting .500 against us this season, 4 for 8, 2 doubles, 4 runs driven in, 5 walks, 1 stolen base, and a hit by pitch. Let's see if Mack can put him away.
Castillo transferring to the University of New Orleans this fall. 0-2, curveball lined foul over the Strasburg dugout to keep the count 0-2. Rough series for Castillo against Woodstock over those 3 games. Just 2 hits and 10 at-bats. He did hit a home run. Looking for an RBI right here to extend this early lead for the Express. Smith thinks about going, and that ball spiked in the dirt by Mack. Really just seems like he hasn't had that location of the fastball so far tonight.
He has no problem getting the velocity, but he really needs to try to paint those pitches a little bit better.
Michael O'Shaughnessy awaits on deck for Strasburg. Mitchell Smith at second base, already 1-0 Strasburg here in the top of the first inning. 1-2. Curveball, another foul ball for Castillo to keep the at-bat alive. These 2 teams have met 4 times in the regular season. Strasburg took 3 of those 4 matchups. The lone Charlottesville win was an extra inning affair back on July the 8th in Strasburg.
Going to have to reverse the tide here if we want to make it to the finals.
Count 1-2, and this ball grounded off the plate, and it's going to drift foul to keep the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Or no, it's going to be catcher's interference on Jacob Ferentz. Thought I might have heard something there. The ball did sound like it hit off the glove, but it was the bat that hit off the glove for Castillo and Ferentz. So put Castillo on first base. Smith will go back to second, and even more of an opportunity right now for the Express with O'Shaughnessy up at the plate.
From the Tom Sox perspective, that error does give you a good opportunity to get the double play ball to go to the bottom of the inning and give yourselves a chance.
Haven't seen a whole lot of catcher's interference so far this season in the VBL, especially for the Tom Sox. It's the first one I can recall, as Zach Mack brings out the breaking ball right there for O'Shaughnessy. It'll be 0-1. O'Shaughnessy, a rising sophomore at Davidson University. He is a Davidson, New York native as well. 4 for 12 against Woodstock over those 3 games with a double and an RBI. 2 for 9 with a home run and 2 RBIs versus Charlottesville this season. There goes both the runners. The throw down by Ferentz to third is going to be in time to get him.
What a play by Ferentz. You saw the first one, how good of a throw it was. That was right on the money. The slide almost started right as the throw happened. He's able to get him in time for out number 2.
Strasburg tried to go with the double steal. Castillo's able to slide into second base safely, but Smith is thrown out at third, so put Castillo on second, now 2 away for O'Shaughnessy. The count 1 ball and 1 strike.
Got a little bit greedy.
Max 1-1 goes right back to that fastball, and it's in there for strike 2. Max sits about 90 miles an hour on that fastball. He's topped as high as 93 so far this summer with the Sox. Curveball sits mid to high 70s, and that slider is in the low 80s. Has all 3 pitches at his disposal right here. The 1-2 goes to the curveball, and that one a little too high. So the count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. O'Shaughnessy finished the regular season, .299 average in 29 games. Did have 4 homers and 29 RBIs. There's a slider, and he looks at it for strike 3. Zach Mack gets himself into some trouble, gives up a run, but gets a big backwards K to end the top of the first.
That's huge for Zach Mack, giving himself some more confidence. He got through that first inning and ended on a strikeout looking. That's awesome if you're Mack.
Charlottesville looking to respond in the bottom half of the first. It'll be Martinez, Edwards, and Arroyo right after this on Tom Sox TV. Back in Charlottesville, 1-0 Strasburg as we begin the bottom half of the first inning here at Cho Airport Field. Nathan Schwartz, Gianni Maltese with you. Let's dive into this Tom Sox starting lineup tonight. Bryce Martinez moves from the 2 spot in the lineup to the leadoff spot, and he will bat first and play second base. Kyle Edwards swaps with him, so Edwards will be in the 2 spot and at his usual shortstop position. Chris Arroyo hitting the cover off the baseball lately. He bats third at first base. Nathan Fink, the right fielder, bats in the cleanup spot. Aiden Teal and Jacob Ferentz, followed by Henry Ford. So 3 Virginia Cavaliers will bat 5, 6, 7. Sergio Rivera will bat 8th in center. And Garrett Spikes, Mr. Tom Sox, in left field batting 9th.
And Gavin Lill on the mound for Strasburg. And his last appearance, he did get credited with the loss through 1 1/3 innings pitched. 4 hits allowed, 5 runs, 3 of those were earned, 2 walks, a strikeout. And he's really kind of got roughed up this season with an 8.10 ERA through 4 games played.
First pitch from Lil, slider that catches the outside corner for strike one. The VBL All Valley teams were just announced recently, and Bryce Martinez named one of the South Division honorable mentions. So congratulations to Bryce. We'll dive into the whole list for Charlottesville later on, as the slider right there for Lil is outside. So they put the count 1-1 As for Bryce this postseason, in that Woodstock, or rather the Front Royal Series, he only had 2 hits and 13 at-bats, did drive in 2. And he takes a 1-1 fastball right there to put the count 1-2.
He didn't necessarily have the most success against the Express either, as he was 2 for 15. So let's see if he can turn the tide in this series in the postseason. He is riding a 16-game on-base streak.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Gianni. Gavin Lill on the mound, 5th time he's appeared for Strasburg this season, first postseason appearance for him. And that fastball outside to even the count at 2. Bryce ended the regular season leading the team in average and runs and was tied for the team lead in RBIs. He's only batted in the leadoff spot sparingly this year. Gets a chance here in Game 1 of the VBL Semifinals. That 2-2 slider upstairs, so 3-2 the count to Martinez, who between the postseason and the regular season has drawn 21 walks.
That's exactly what you want in your leadoff hitter. Obviously, you know, the at-bat's not done yet if you can get on base, but working the count. It's a full count. Props here in his leadoff spot.
Martinez drives this one off the backstop and foul to keep the count full. It's been that fastball slider combo for Gavin Lill to start this game tonight. And he really hasn't gone too deep into ball games this season. In his 4 appearances, the max he's gone was 2 innings on the 19th at Woodstock. He's gone an inning and 2/3 twice and went an inning and a third in his last matchup. And right here, not the start you want. He gives up a leadoff walk to Martinez.
Exactly what you want, though, if you're the Tom Sox, giving Martinez that leadoff role, able to get on base.
So both teams get the leadoff man on with a walk. Reese Woody for Strasburg came around to score on the RBI fielder's choice for Mitchell Smith. Let's see what Charlottesville can do with this opportunity. And right now, Kyle Edwards, who's really struggling at the plate right now, Gianni.
Yeah, he's really just trying to find his game. He really is. He was 0 for 13 in the Front Royal Series.
And right there, he does square to bunt, potentially trying to just get Martinez to second, but also at the same time just get himself on base. He really hasn't been on base a whole lot the last week or so.
Just trying to give himself a chance, as Martinez does have 23 stolen bases, though, so the speed is there.
Martinez doesn't take off, and there's a 1-0 fastball. The count moves to 2-0. Over the last 46 at-bats for Kyle, just 7 hits. That's a 152 average since July the 20th. So it's been a rough week and a half, to say the least, for the Tom Sox shortstop. Takes a 2-0 fastball on the outside corner right there, and the count will be 2-1. Kyle recently moved into second place all-time in Tom Sox history in games appeared in. He sits 4 games behind his Tom Sox counterpart, Garrett Spikes. Kyle squaring early right here. He's going to stick with the bunt. The throw down to second is in plenty of time, and Martinez is out by at least 20 feet. Couldn't tell whether Martinez got a bad jump or whether the throw from Ty Hooks was perfection. But either way, the leadoff walk is erased.
Looked like a little bit of miscommunication there, as he really did not have the jump at all.
Edwards did pull the bat back, so 3-1 the count from Lil to Kyle. And Kyle does go swinging right there, bounces it just foul. That one had a base hit written all over it, but he misses the chalk by about 5 feet.
That was about as close as it gets to getting that hit, and he needs it.
Another full count here for Gavin Lill, the second in as many batters. Payoff curveball swung on and missed by Edwards. Foul tipped into the mitt for strike number 3.
He saw the pitch well. The timing has just been off as of late, and the statistics prove that.
He bumped down from the leadoff spot to the second spot, maybe just as a way for him to get that pressure off of having to get on base immediately. But right there, put together a good at-bat, just didn't get the result he wanted. He now moves to 0 for 14 this postseason. 2 for 32 in the postseason over his 2 years in Charlottesville. Now, Chris Arroyo, who loves to swing at first pitches, cuts through one right there to put the count 0-1.
Been a different story here for Chris Arroyo, as he's absolutely raking as of late. He has hits in 11 of his last 13 games, including the playoffs.
That pitch down low. Arroyo, 433 over his last 8 games. Finished the regular season hitting .395, 13 runs driven in, an OPS over 1.
Look at that windup.
He starts with the glove really up by his ear. Reminds me of Zach Britton, just from the right side. Former Baltimore Oriole and New York Yankee.
I was going to say, you can't just have that one. I get that one, too.
Absolutely. Arroyo, 5 for 12 in that front Royal series. He last appeared on the mound on the 25th against the Cardinals. He did have a pitching appearance against Strasburg earlier this year, as he lifts this one right field, but that's going to be Jason Hodges camping under it. And another 1-2-3 inning for Charlottesville, something we saw a lot of last night. Keeps the trend going right here. Martinez, the leadoff walk, gets caught stealing. Edwards strikes out. Arroyo flies out. We head to the top of the second with Strasburg holding a 1-0 lead in Game 1 of the VBL semifinals. Top of the second here in Charlottesville. Game 1 of the VBL semifinals between Strasburg and the Tom Sox. First pitch of the inning for Zach Mack outside for ball number 1. Strasburg trails in the all-time series against Charlottesville 16-11. These two teams have met 5 times in the postseason in the last 8 years or so since Charlottesville entered the league. Charlottesville has won 4 of those 5 matchups. And as I said in the open, they've combined to win 7 of the last 8 VBL championships, and it's guaranteed one of them's going to be playing for the championship later this week.
These two are just the clear front runners, and as you said, it backs it up.
Strasburg was the only team this season to have a winning record against the Tom Sox. The Express took both games here in Charlottesville, and the two teams split the 2 games in Strasburg this regular season. 1-2 fastball from Mack. That's upstairs, and the count will even 2 balls and 2 strikes. The entire playoff landscape right now for the VBL. The top 4 teams are the 4 teams remaining. Charlottesville, the number 1 seed. Strasburg, the 4 seed. And then the other semifinal matchup is between Harrisonburg and Winchester, the Turks being the 2 seed and the Royals being that 3rd seed.
Great matchups and good baseball here for the semifinals.
And so it should be the top 4 teams get a chance to play in the semifinals. as there's a breaking ball. It drops right into the zone for strike 3. Can't get a much better located pitch than that. And that's the second backwards K in a row for Zach Mack.
And you took the words right out of my mouth that time. We were saying he needed to start painting his pitches more. 2 straight backwards Ks. That is amazing to see from Mack as we're looking for him to go the distance.
That breaking ball gives a lot of the hitters time to see it well. It's 12-6 in nature, comes in relatively slow as the first pitch right there to Anthony LaSala's down low. So with it being such a looping pitch, the hitters get a chance to see it more, but because it has so much movement, it really just can throw the hitter off guard if it starts at your helmet and winds up at the belt, and that's exactly what happened right there to Ty Hooks. LaSala, the new batter in the batter's box, shortstop for the Express, already ahead in the count, 2-0.
Yeah, this is someone you have to be wary of as he has hits in 14 of his last 18 games.
Takes a healthy hack at that 2-0 fastball and misses it for strike 1. You're right, Gianni. LaSala hitting the cover off the baseball. Wasn't doing that against Charlottesville in the regular season, though. Only 1 hit, which was a double in 13 at-bats.
He is a threat to steal as well, as he has 12 stolen bases on the year, so also got to be careful with that. Don't want to let him get on base easy here.
3-1 fastball for Mack is down low, and that's the second walk he's allowed, 1 in each inning here in the early going.
Batting for Strasburg, the second baseman from Georgia Southern, number 5, Kate Parker.
So a strikeout and a walk to begin this inning for Zach Mack, as nobody warming up in the Charlottesville bullpen. Not exactly sure how long the leash is going to be on Zach Mack tonight, whose longest outing this season was just 2 2/3 innings on July the 20th at Woodstock. Right off the bat, there goes LaSala, and he is in there standing up. Strasburg not wasting any time moving runners from first to second base. That's their 3rd stolen base over the first inning and a third.
We talk about all the time how the Tom Sox are breaking all these records with stolen bases, but other teams aren't shying away from doing it to us.
Charlottesville, a team record, 132 stolen bases so far over 47 games this season, as Kate Parker swings through that second pitch to even the count at 1.
Parker really struggling as he went 0 for 10 in the Woodstock series.
And was just 1 for 9 against Charlottesville over the 4-game stretch this season with 5 strikeouts. An RBI opportunity for him here with LaSala in scoring position. And another ball right there for Mack, and it continues to be an issue with that fastball. He just can't get it to that lower part of the zone. He's keeping it low, just can't quite get it to knee level.
It's either been really in the dirt or just too high. Got to find that happy medium.
Mack keeping LaSala honest at second base, but that slider tails outside. So another 3-ball count for Mack and the Tom Sox.
Got to avoid these hitters' counts here if you're Mack.
Mack making just his 2nd start this summer for Charlottesville, as there's a line drive into left field for a base hit. Ty Hooks struck out to begin the inning. LaSala walk. Now he's at third base after the single for Kate Parker, and for the 2nd straight inning, Strasburg's got runners on the corners.
From Radford, Jason Hodges.
That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Jason Hodges for Strasburg. Only appeared in 8 games in the regular season for Strasburg. Was 5 for 25. That's a 200 average. Only 1 RBI. But did have 3 hits in the first round against Woodstock. 3 for 9 with a double.
Waiting for his first hit against the Tom Sox. 0 for 3 with 2 walks, a stolen base, and a K.
Mack in trouble for the 2nd straight inning. And it's been no secret that Strasburg's been trying to steal bags, as quickly we have action in the Charlottesville bullpen. I believe it's Braden Halliday warming up for the Tom Sox. Coming in, we thought he was a candidate to start this game. It was his turn in the rotation, but Mack has served as an opener that one time this season. And looks like that's going to be the strategy here again tonight. Halliday has the ability to go long into ball games. His last appearance was on the 24th against Woodstock last Monday, a week ago, when he went 5 innings after missing 2 weeks. So he's well rested and ready to go if Lyndon Coleman needs him to go an extended amount here in Game 1. Zach Mack clearly worried about Cade Parker trying to steal second base. The double play opportunity is alive with LaSala at third and Parker at first. It would take a ground ball up the middle with Hodges having some speed as well.
You definitely got to be careful as he has 19 stolen bases. And as you just mentioned, head coach Lyndon Coleman probably was looking to get 2 to 3 solid innings out of Mack and then turn to Braden Halliday. As you mentioned, he could have potentially been the starter tonight.
Finally had the first pitch of the at-bat right there. So 0-1 the count, one away here in the top of the second. Another check, and that one hits off the first base umpire, and here comes LaSala.
That's a good piece of base running, though, by LaSala. And Strasburg able to get run number 2 via the error.
It'll go down on Zach Mack as a throwing error. The Tom Sox have had a couple instances this season where the pitchers made a throwing error on a pickoff attempt to first base. And right there, it comes back to haunt Zach Mack right there as LaSala scores to make it 2-0. Parker was not able to advance to second base due to the ball hitting our first base umpire, Matthew Pierman, right in the chest. He served as a human shield, keeping that ball from going towards the Tom Sox bullpen, which would have allowed Parker to at least make it to second base, maybe even a third, with how hard that ball was thrown by Mack.
Keeping the double play ball intact.
Well, there goes Parker, breaking ball, the throw down from Ferentz. Tag can't even be made. 4 stolen bags now for the Express. Make that 5, actually. 1 for Woody, 1 for Smith, 1 for Castillo, 1 for LaSala, and now 1 for Cade Parker. The Tom Sox haven't been able to find a solution to the stolen base yet, something that teams weren't able to do against them in the first half of the season. The Tom Sox cooled off on the base pass over the last month or so. Still were getting their stolen bases every once in a while, but it was adamant and very clear that teams were starting to limit that, and now the Tom Sox getting beat at their own game tonight. 2-2 pitch for Mack is outside, and Hodges a pitch away from working a walk to put runners on second and first.
When we're at batting, just going to have to find ways to get on the bases.
Mack keeping Parker honest at second base. The 3-2 pitch, curveball crosses up Ferentz. He's able to catch it, but it's upstairs for ball 4, and the struggles continue for Mack as Lyndon Coleman's going to take a trot from the dugout to the pitcher's mound for a mound visit. Gianni just not the start that Lyndon Coleman and the Tom Sox were looking for tonight.
Definitely not ideal. You know, you want to get at least 3 innings out of him if it's a bullpen game, but right now you can't even get past the second inning, so that'll be 1 1/3 as he only has 1 out here in the top of the second.
And Lyndon Coleman's not going to waste any more time as here comes Braden Halliday. We'll talk more about the veteran Tom Sox on the other side of this break here on Tom Sox TV. Back here on Tom Sox TV, top of the second inning, already a 2-0 lead for Strasburg, and a new pitcher on the mound for the Tom Sox, Braden Halliday. First pitch for Braden, cut on and missed for strike number one. It's the leadoff man, Reese Woody. Halliday making his 10th appearance of the season. Had 9 appearances in the regular season, 3 of them being starts. Called on early here as there's a deep fly ball, right field, sending Fink back to the fence, and you can forget about it. Reese Woody takes a change up from Braden Halliday, sends it over the right field wall, and the Express have broken it open early here in Charlottesville. It's 5-0.
Well, I was going to get into Halliday's stats, but that changed fast. In his last appearance, he did get credited with the win, had a solid outing, went 5 innings, allowed 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Off to a really rough start here. See if he can gather himself quickly as no one's on base now.
Just 2 pitches in and make it 2-0 to 5-0. As Logan Vaughn steps in, who's already got a single tonight. And this was the danger coming in. The Strasburg Express teed off against Charlottesville in all 4 games this season. And just knowing what the Express are capable of offensively, you knew it was going to take a really solid pitching performance and a lot of runs for Charlottesville to limit that damage that Strasburg can do offensively on their own side. But right off the bat, Strasburg has come in and made a statement here in Game 1, 5-0 with only 1 out here in the top of the first.
You knew the offense was going to be present here for the Express, but if you're the Tom Sox, you're going to have to find ways to match it and have efficient pitching to find a way to win this series.
Really rough start, and it's very similar to how Game 1 of the first round went for Charlottesville when they gave up 17 runs on 24 hits in Game 1 against the Cardinals as Vaughn lays his second single in as many at-bats.
Make that 5 straight batters that have reached.
Had the walk for LaSala, single for Parker, the walk for Hodges, the 3-run blast for Woody, and now a single for Logan Vaughn. And Braden Halliday having a less than optimal start. Definitely not ideal. He made 10 appearances last year with Charlottesville through 18 2/3 innings for a 3.86 ERA, as this one is sent foul and into the Tom Sox bullpen. Arroyo can't get there in time. And this is Halliday's 10th appearance. He has a 3.25 ERA right now in 19 1/3 innings, so very similar seasons for Halliday in his 2 seasons in Charlottesville, but the numbers definitely going to be skewed for this year, his overall numbers between the regular season and the postseason with this start he's having tonight. 0-1 from Braden, lined into the backstop for strike number 2. It's Mitchell Smith up for Strasburg, who drove in that first run for the Express with a fielder's choice.
Smith's got to be feeling good, especially after that walk-off homer, already getting on base via the fielder's choice. Stole a base. Got to find a way to get him out.
He's jammed right there. Ferentz racing towards the fence, but it's going to go over it. And Smith keeps the at-bat alive. As for Smith, 2 for 7 this year against Charlottesville in the regular season. He's got 5 multi-hit games in his last 9 games. And he's still looking to get on base tonight, reaching safely. Has an 11-game on-base streak, including the 3 postseason games. Halliday sets the 0-2, slider down in the dirt for the first ball.
Halliday still looking to get his first out since entering the ballgame.
Halliday doesn't have the best strikeout stuff. 16 Ks in 19 1/3 innings over the regular season. More pitch to contact kind of guy. And the count evens right there. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Mitchell Smith with Castillo on deck. The 2-2. Another fastball that tails away. You can tell Halliday just fell off the mound right there. Another full count right here for the Tom Sox pitching staff. Mack had a couple of deep counts. Halliday touched up early in counts over the first two batters. Now a prolonged count right here and another foul ball, this one right off the foot of Smith.
See if he can find his put-away pitch here. Like you said, doesn't strike out a whole lot, but would be huge for his confidence right here if he's able to find a way to get Smith out.
Three-two pitch. Elevated fastball popped up again over the backstop and over our heads here in the press box. And a really good at-bat right here for Mitchell Smith. His numbers during the regular season, not so good. 221 average over 33 games. Did hit 2 balls out of the park, 19 runs driven in. Had 19 strikeouts in those 33 games. But having a really good start to this postseason. 3-2 pitch driven into the ground and foul past Henry Ford at third base. That's 4 straight foul balls for Mitchell Smith. And tack that on to the couple foul balls he had earlier in the count as well.
It's got to be nearing the 10th pitch of the AB.
Halliday's already thrown 16 pitches. This being the third batter he's faced, and he gets Smith right there swinging. A big strikeout for Braden Halliday. It's the second strikeout of the inning for the Tom Sox pitching staff, and that is the second out.
For Strasburg, the left fielder number 1, Victor Castillo.
So finally that ends the run of 5 straight Express that have reached base. And Victor Castillo, the final hope for the Express here in the second inning. First pitch changeup on the inside corner. That's strike 1. Castillo reached on a catcher's interference back in the first inning. Did steal second base before being stranded on the Michael O'Shaughnessy strikeout. 0-1 from Halliday. Goes to the fastball and it catches the outside corner for strike 2. He's gone inside of the plate, outside of the plate. What does he go to right here, Gianni?
That's a great question. We'll see. He has confidence in his fastball. We'll see what he likes.
0-2. Goes to the changeup, and that just misses off the outer edge of the plate.
Thought he had him.
Really good pitch there for Braden Halliday. That's where you have to locate that 2-strike changeup. Keep it away from the left-handed batter and keep it low. That's exactly what he did, just didn't get the call. 1-2 now. Goes to the slider, and it's fouled right over the press box.
That foul ball was sponsored by Taylor's Auto Body.
It'll be huge if he's able to get this out and really just give ourselves a chance to claw back in this one.
Castillo reached base at a .471 clip this regular season. Looking to add to it here. Another foul ball for Castillo, the rising senior. Tallahassee, Florida native. And Braden Halliday was at Tallahassee Community College a couple years back. Runner at first, Logan Vaughn after a single. Strikeout for Mitchell Smith, and now Castillo. 1-2 pitch, cut on and missed for strike 3. Halliday with back-to-back strikeouts, but Strasburg with a 4 spot here in the top of the second inning. A 3-run homer for Reese Woody highlights it, and the Express take a 5-0 lead into the bottom of the second here at Show Airport Field. Charlottesville could use a response right here. 5-0 Express. As we begin the bottom half of the second inning, it'll be Nathan Fink, Aiden Teal, and Jacob Ferentz at the plate for the Tom Sox. And we'll start with Fink. First pitch from Lil is a breaking ball that drops into the middle of the zone for strike one.
He did have a 5-game hitting streak snapped yesterday, and he has hits in 16 of his last 21 games, really heating up for the Tom Sox as of late.
Hit .329 over 23 games in the regular season. Gets another curveball right there from Gavin Lil, and back-to-back takes will put the count at 0-2. Lil really mixing in that curveball well. He got Edwards to swing and miss on it with 2 strikes in the bottom half of the first inning. And he goes to the slider right there. 3 pitches, 3 takes, 3 strikes right there for Gavin Lil, 1 away. Really, frankly, bad at bat right there for Nathan Fink. Didn't lift the bat off his shoulder. Got 3 pitches right in the zone and didn't even swing at any one of them.
Really uninspiring there. After putting up a 4 spot for the Express in the top half of the inning, you got to find ways to work the count and get on base, quite frankly.
Now a guy that Tom Sox have loved to have here in Charlottesville and loved to have at the plate recently, Aiden Teal, hitting .345 in the month of July, including the playoffs. He's got hits in 7 of his last 10 and absolutely mashed in the series against Front Royal as he takes the first 2 pitches for balls. He was 5 for 8 with 2 homers, a double, and 5 RBIs, including 3 walks. Definitely, if there was an MVP in a playoff series here in the VBL, Teal would definitely get the nod for the Tom Sox.
He's just consistently been finding ways to get on base.
His power has really gone up in the last week or so as he gets the red light on a 3-0 fastball and put the count at 3 balls and 1 strike after the take.
And here begins the 3 straight UVA guys as Jacob Ferentz is on deck, and then Henry Ford is up next.
And right there, Aiden Teal, a really good at-bat, a 5-pitch walk. Puts a runner on for Charlottesville, the 2nd walk so far tonight for Gavin Lil. Now the newest member of this Tom Sox lineup, Jacob Ferentz. He's only been here for a week or so, but he's really made his mark. Appeared in 5 games in the regular season, hit .385 in 13 at-bats, hit 2 homers, which were his first 2 hits in a Tom Sox uniform. And in Game 2 at Front Royal, he was 3 for 5 with 3 doubles. It was the only appearance he had in that Front Royal series, but talk about making your mark on a game. 3 extra base hits.
First Tom Sox ever. That was great to see. First Tom Sox ever, like you mentioned, to have 3 doubles in a game.
This is just the 7th game he's appeared in this summer with Charlottesville. Takes the 1-0 fastball right there on the inside for the 2nd ball. The Tom Sox have been working counts other than that 3-pitch at-bat to Nathan Fink. Tom Sox getting the pitch count up on Gavin Lil, something that they struggled to do against P.J. Craig, the starter for Front Royal, last night. Ferentz gets jammed on the 2-0 pitch. It'll be Logan Vaughn coming over from first base to behind the pitcher's mound to corral it for the 2nd out.
The 3rd baseman from the University of Virginia, number 5.
Enter Henry Ford.
Henry Ford, another one of these Virginia Cavaliers that has just raked recently. He's hitting .500 over the last 6 games. He has 10 hits in that span, 7 RBIs, 2 doubles, and 3 home runs. His power numbers has shot up through the roof as of late. And first pitch to Henry, up and in for ball 1. It was really a 2-week span after coming back from the thumb injury for Henry, where just struggled at the plate. If he got a hit, it was a single. Really struggled defensively as well. He was playing third base, first base, did some DHing, but now has gone back into that third base spot and has produced at the plate significantly. But he pops one up right here. It's the 2nd baseman, Parker, there to make the catch in shallow right for the third and final out. The Tom Sox get a base runner, a one-out walk from Aiden Teal, but can't get anything else after it. 5-0 Strasburg as we head to the third here on Tom Sox TV. Tom Sox offense struggling once again here in Game 1 of the VBL Semifinals as we begin the third inning here at Cho Airport Field. Nathan Schwartz, Gianni Maltese with you. Strasburg has come out guns a-blazing. 5 runs in the first 2 innings, including a 4 spot in that second inning, highlighted by a Reese Woody 3-run blast. Charlottesville 2 base runners, both via the walk, but nothing doing offensively for them. And Braden Halliday back on the mound. Recorded 2 outs via the strikeout in the second, and now back out for the third. First pitch to Michael O'Shaughnessy outside. Touched on this earlier, but the VBL All-Valley teams have been released. The Tom Sox had 2 players named to the All-Pitcher squad. Mark Perkins, named the South Division Pitcher of the Year, went 31 innings in the regular season, a 0.58 ERA, just unreal numbers for Mark. And then Mike Eggert was named to the pitching staff as a relief arm, was 1-0 in 21 innings pitched with a 0.85 ERA in the regular season. And then the Tom Sox had 3 players named as honorable mentions. Jordan Little, who's no longer with the team, he had a 1.20 ERA in 15 innings pitched. And then the second base and shortstop duo of Bryce Martinez and Kyle Edwards named to the honorable mention squad as well. Halliday down in the count, 3 balls, 1 strike here to the number 5 hitter O'Shaughnessy, who went down looking against Mack back in the first.
Now speaking on my behalf will be David Utagawa.
As O'Shaughnessy cuts through that one and misses it for strike 2. And we welcome in Mr. Utagawa into the broadcast booth, who got the save in last night's game. David, welcome to the broadcast booth, my friend.
Thank you, Nate. Happy to be here.
Hasn't been a great start for the Tom Sox tonight, but let's talk a little bit about the game last night. You guys trailing 2-1 all the way through that 8th inning. Mike goes 8 innings. You're warming up from the 4th inning on. What was the mindset for you when you start to warm up in the 4th inning, but then you're just waiting and waiting and waiting to get into the game?
Yeah, I mean, it was really just trying to stay locked in the whole game, not trying to get too hype too soon. I had a feeling that I might go in the 4th or the 5th, but kind of once I saw Mike settle in, and I knew he was going to get us deep into that game, so I kind of tried to save as many bullets as I could, still trying to stay locked in, and then obviously he did a really great job getting us through the 8th, and then coming in and being able to close that thing out with the lead in the 9th was awesome.
O'Shaughnessy went down on strikes, the 3rd consecutive strikeout for Halliday, but then you finally get into the game in that 9th inning. Just take me through the emotions of getting in there after you guys had just put up 3 runs to take the lead, and then you're tasked with getting the save.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was, those are the types of situations that you want to be in on the mound. Obviously got a little hairy there with runners on 2nd and 3rd, and a good hitter up at the plate is a winning run, but really just wanted to get the win for the team, and that's what it was about.
Line out there for Ty Hooks. He's now 0 for 2 tonight. Garrett Spikes a nice play. Actually, Garrett's in. Is Garrett out there? He's wearing different shoes. I can't even tell if that's him anymore out there in left field. But nonetheless, second out of the inning as LaSala steps in. He walked back in the second inning to get that 4-run second going. But a little bit of trouble for you in that ninth inning. The walk and then the double down the right field line. But you buckled down, got the 2 strikeouts in the last 2 batters to get that third and final out. What were you thinking after the double, knowing you had to buckle down against one of the better hitters in that Front Royal lineup?
Well, we knew we had the base open at first. We weren't really going to pitch around him just because, obviously you don't want to work too far behind in the count. So really the game plan was just attack the zone with the fastball and the slider. And, once I got to 0-2, it felt like he was a better fastball hitter than a breaking ball hitter, so went with the slider, and that's what we got the strikeout on. So it was really just go back to the plan that I stay with most of the time, just fill up the zone.
And a rare relief appearance for you this summer. You were mainly a relief arm for Northwestern. Now going to UC Irvine, you'll be a starter there. What's it been like getting more of that chance to start the game and go as long as you can into the games this summer?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, most guys when they're a pitcher, they want to be a starter. You get the most innings, and you kind of know when you're throwing. I think there's pros and cons to both sides. I've enjoyed throwing out of the bullpen a lot of my career so far in college, but being able to start this summer was super exciting. Obviously, I threw out of the pen that first appearance, and then threw out of the pen again yesterday. But starting is a lot of fun. I mean, being able to go out there and try to get your team deep into games and work through a lineup multiple times it's a big task, but it's fun.
Braden Halliday gives up a hit by pitch right there to Anthony LaSala. This is Cade Parker at the plate right now for Strasburg. He singled back in the second inning and scored on that 3-run homer for Reese Woody. What have you seen that you've liked so far from Braden after that 3-run homer?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's done a really good job kind of settling in and getting those 2 strikeouts last inning, especially I don't remember which hitter it was, but one of the guys worked a really long AB. It was probably 10-plus pitches and kind of just staying in the zone and not giving him any free passes, and getting the strikeout was good.
2-1 from Braden. That's upstairs, so 3-1 will be the count to Cade Parker with the runner on first and 2 away here in the top of the third inning in Game 1 of the VBL semifinals. Had the All-Valley teams announced just a few moments ago. We had Kyle Edwards, Bryce Martinez, Jordan Little named as honorable mentions, Mike Eggert and Mark Perkins named to the pitching staff All-League team. What can you say about those 5 guys and what they've meant to the team this summer?
Yeah, I mean, they've been huge, especially, Eggy and Perkins being here the whole summer. Both those guys throwing a lot of innings, getting us some really big appearances. Obviously, Mike going last night 8 innings. And then, Little for the stretch of time that he was here was absolutely dominant. So, all those guys are very well deserving.
High drive right there for Jason Hodges. That's sending Sergio Rivera back to the track. He camps under it for the third and final out of the top of the third inning. We'll be right back with more Tom Sox baseball right after this on Tom Sox TV. Back here in Charlottesville, bottom of the third inning. Want to thank David Udagawa for coming up and chatting with us briefly in that top of the third inning. And right now he's over at first base, coaching first base. He's a busy man for the Tom Sox when he's not on the mound.
Mr. Do-It-All.
Mr. Do-It-All, Mr. David Udagawa, one of the newer arms at UC Irvine. He'll be a rising senior for the Anteaters this fall and into next spring. Sergio Rivera will lead off this bottom of the third inning for Charlottesville. He's put together some good at-bats lately. He was 2 for 5 with 2 walks in that Front Royal series. He was 1 for 3 against the Express during the regular season. Gavin Lill down in the count 2-0. He gives up another ball right there on a slider. So Sergio, one of the better hitters in this lineup, is in terms of getting on base, drawing walks, getting hit by pitches. He is ahead 3-0 right here.
He has an on-base percentage of .432, and right there he gets on base, and we all know he's a threat to steal as he has 25 stolen bases on the year.
4-pitch walk for Rivera. It's exactly what you want. It's the third time this game that the Tom Sox have gotten a free pass. One to lead off the first from Martinez. He was caught stealing at second base. Nathan Fink struck out, and then Aiden Teal walked to begin the second inning, and now Sergio Rivera leads off the third with a walk. And here comes Garrett Spikes. He does have a change in cleats. He's been wearing the red ones all summer long, and in the top half of the third, you saw I was confused as to whether it was actually Garrett Spikes in left field. I can usually tell by those red cleats he wears, but he's wearing the white ones tonight. And he's ahead in the count 1-0.
He went 3 for 9 in the Front Royal Series, which is pretty much on par as he had 288 average through 24 games played. Already ahead here, 2-0.
Now a visit between the third baseman Smith and the pitcher Lill. Potentially a sign-based interaction with Sergio on first base. Loves to steal bags, as Gianni mentioned. And the Tom Sox could use anything, any momentum right now to get runners into scoring position. Spikes takes the 2-0 fastball outside, and the count moves to 3-0. There is action warming in the Strasburg bullpen. It's a left-hander. Mentioned earlier that Lill's longest outing this season was 2 innings flat against the Woodstock River Bandits on July 19th. With an out here in the third inning, he will surpass that season high. He's matched it right now. (3-1) to Spikes. Big swing and a miss right there for Mr. Tom Sox. And that's going to put it at a full count.
Good cut, just missing. Nonetheless, full count here.
Might see Rivera take off here on a full count. He does take off the 3-2 pitch, grounded to first, and Vaughn will step on the bag. If Rivera doesn't take off, that's likely a 3-6-3 double play, but instead Rivera on second base with 1 out. So that'll bring up the top of the lineup in Bryce Martinez. Led off the game for Charlottesville with a walk, but then was caught stealing during Kyle Edwards' at-bat. So a chance for Bryce with the runner in scoring position and 1 away, with the Tom Sox looking to just cut at this lead 1 at a time. First pitch to Bryce in the dirt, blocked by Ty Hooks to keep Rivera at second base. That's a really good play, especially considering Rivera, if he sees the ball even get slightly away from the catcher, he's immediately going to take off and get to third.
That's not Hooks' first one either. He's had a lot of good blocks today in crucial situations with runners on base as well.
This time of the season, any base you can save is crucial, as we saw last night for Charlottesville in that 4-2 Game 3, is the count evens right there with the strike on the outside corner to Martinez. Martinez extended his on-base streak to 17 games in that first inning, which now leads the team. He was tied with Connor Hinks at 16 game on-base streaks. As Rivera takes off for third, the throw is not going to be there, and Sergio Rivera with his first stolen base here tonight. Doesn't get credited with the stolen base when he took off on the ground ball for spikes, but he does get the stolen base right there, and the count will be 1 ball, 2 strikes to Martinez, who loves to hit here at Chiu Airport Field, hitting .317 at home this season. Slider right there on the 1-2. That's outside, so it'll even the count. We touched on it earlier. Bryce did not have a lot of success against Strasburg this regular season. Just 2 for 15 with a walk, a hit by pitch, and 4 strikeouts. Lil with the 2-2 fastball. That's upstairs. Martinez thought about it but decides to hang back. And it'll be a full count if he can reach. Kyle Edwards awaits on deck. Chris Arroyo in the hole for Charlottesville.
Huge RBI opportunity here for Martinez.
Payoff pitch. Slider. Martinez swings out of the zone for the strikeout. Third strikeout for Gavin Lill tonight. And that's a couple times in the past week or so where Martinez has worked a good at-bat, but then chased at ball 4.
He worked the count and just went for a ball that was really never going to get in the strike zone.
Started out on the outer half of the plate and low and just turned into a ball that went in the dirt in the left-handed batter's box. And now Kyle Edwards sees a first pitch slider, takes it for strike 1. Kyle starting in his 80th game in a Tom Sox uniform tonight to extend the Tom Sox career game started record, which he set a couple weeks ago in a doubleheader against Winchester. Another off-speed pitch right there. Another strike taken by Kyle Edwards. Clearly frustrated with the call, and the count moves to 0-2.
He may also just be a little bit frustrated with himself there. Letting a lot of strikes go and swinging at pitches that aren't necessarily have a good chance of being hit.
He's 0 for 14 this postseason. Gets buckled right there, but it was a little inside. His knees collapsed when he saw the breaking ball near his head. Winds up at the belt, but inside by about a foot. So put the count 1-2.
Just missing and avoiding a 3-pitch strikeout there for Edwards.
Edwards sends this one a long way. Left field. This might end the streak. It will not, as Edwards with a deep fly out to end the third inning. Rivera with a leadoff walk, but then a ground ball, a strikeout, and a deep fly ball get Gavin Lill out of the jam. Still 5-0 Express as we head to the top of the 4th here on Tom Sox TV. Charlottesville hitless through 3 innings. They've had 3 base runners, but just can't get a ball to touch the outfield grass. Braden Halliday back out for the 4th inning. Still 5-0 Strasburg here in Game 1 of the semifinals. Nathan Schwartz and Gianni Maltese with you. An hour and 10 minutes into this one, we're beginning the 4th inning. That's been definitely a shift lately for Charlottesville. They've had some quick games. The game last night took just 2 hours and 6 minutes to get through all 9 innings as the leadoff man, Reese Woody, stays hot. His second hit tonight, 3rd time he's reached base.
Number 20, Logan Vaughn.
Vaughn coming to the plate with 2 singles already.
That's right, single in the 1st and the 2nd inning. Hasn't scored on either. And now it takes the first pitch changeup from Halliday outside for ball 1. Seems like this is going to be Halliday's game for at least the next inning or 2. Braden's gone at least 3 innings in 3 separate times this year. His first appearance back on June the 4th at Culpeper, he went 3 innings. Then his last 2 outings, he's gone 3 or more innings. He went 3 innings on July the 9th against Winchester, and then, as I touched on earlier, went 5 innings in a win against Woodstock last Monday. 3rd pitch from Braden outside, so put the count 3-0 now on the number 2 man, Logan Vaughn, who's also looking to reach base for the 3rd time tonight, just like Woody. 3-0 pitch from Halliday. That misses for ball 4. Halliday got into a groove after the Woody homer and the Vaughn single in the 2nd. He had retired 4 in a row, then the 2 free passes, then the fly out. Now back-to-back base runners to begin this 4th.
And now you really got to be wary of Mitchell Smith. Not having a great day so far, but he's riding a hot hitting streak.
Does have an RBI, but he's 0 for 2 after a strikeout in the 2nd inning. Was the first strikeout victim of Halliday as that ball gets past the diving glove of Henry Ford and into the bullpen for a base hit. Here comes Woody. The throw goes into 3rd. It'll be an RBI double for Mitchell Smith. The Express extend the lead to 6.
Standing for Strasburg, left fielder number 1, Victor Castillo.
And his start for Charlottesville just eerily similar to what we saw on Thursday night against Front Royal.
It's really unfortunate, especially here at Cho Airport Field. It's a long game.
Fly ball right there, heading into shallow left. This is Edwards, able to make the catch just in fair territory for the first out, and a crucial out at that. Keeps the runners in place at 2nd and 3rd. First base remains open for Strasburg. The infield was drawn in on that play for the Sox, and it'll stay that way now with O'Shaughnessy stepping up. O'Shaughnessy 0 for 2 tonight. He struck out twice. Ended the 1st with a strikeout, began the 3rd with a strikeout as well. Chance for him to drive in 2 with a base hit. First pitch from Halliday, down low with the slider. O'Shaughnessy 4 for 14 this postseason. 4 for 12 in the Woodstock Series, 0 for 2 tonight. There's 2 strikeouts also put him at 2 for 11 against Charlottesville this season. Logan Vaughn at 3rd, Mitchell Smith at 2nd following his RBI double. Ground ball right side, diving is Arroyo. The runners will stay put, and a phenomenal defensive play for Chris Arroyo at first base for the 2nd out. And Chris really isn't a traditional first baseman. He's a two-way player, pitcher, outfielder, but he gets some first base reps here for the Tom Sox, and he's making the most of it.
That's one heck of a play to save a run. Already down 6-0. That's crucial right there by Arroyo.
A 2-run stop right there for Arroyo. If that gets past his glove, it's easily scoring Vaughn, probably Smith as well. But instead keeps the runners put and gives Halliday another chance to get out of the inning. Ty Hooks now the batter, and he takes the first pitch for strike one. Hooks so far tonight 0 for 2, struck out looking in the second, and then lined out to Garrett Spikes in left field his last at bat. Another 0-1 changeup right there for Braden Halliday. It catches the outside corner and quickly 0-2.
Good start to the AB here for Halliday.
Ty Hooks really different springs from summer. Hit 317 this season with Winthrop, but only hit 203 in the regular season with Strasburg. Down 0-2 in the count right here, and he takes the pitch outside for the first ball. Halliday with first base open and a struggling Hooks at the plate has the ability to work around the outside part of the plate right here, can try out some pitches to try and get Hooks to chase, but also has the ability to just go right after him. 1-2, he challenges him with the fastball, but misses on the inside part of the plate. And it will even the count.
Showing a little bit of frustration there as he really thought that was his pitch.
It's a good spot for Braden. Looking to locate that fastball on the inside corner. The count now even, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. The pitch down low for ball 3, and what started out as an 0-2 count has now gone full. And if Hooks draws a walk, that'll put the bases loaded for Anthony LaSala, who's in the on-deck circle.
Big pitch here.
Halliday, the payoff. Fastball in the dirt, ball 4. And after an 0-2 count, Ty Hooks works a walk, setting the bases loaded up with 2 away for LaSala, who's gotten on base in both of his at-bats tonight. His plate appearances, rather, as he walked in the second, scored on the throwing error by Zach Mack, and then was hit by a pitch in the third and stranded at second base after the Jason Hodges flyout to end the third. First pitch from Halliday with the bases juiced, a fastball to LaSala for strike 1. LaSala just 1 for 13 against Charlottesville this season. He does have hits in 14 of the last 18 games he's played in. Strasburg would love another hit right here. He sends one on a line right to Henry Ford for the third and final out. LaSala just misses 2 RBIs, but the Express get one here in the top of the fourth. An RBI double from the hero last night, Mitchell Smith, puts the 6th run on the board for the Express. They lead 6-0 as we head to the bottom of the fourth here in Charlottesville. Charlottesville back to bat here in the bottom of the fourth, and they will face a new pitcher. Gavin Lill's night is done. He goes 3 innings, 3 scoreless innings without giving up a hit, walked 3 and struck out 3. Had faced the lineup 1 full time through, and now Max Cooley tasked with keeping the Tom Sox hitters at bay.
Yeah, his last appearance was really successful on the 23rd against Waynesboro. He did get credited with the save, 3 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, allowed no runs, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. The JMU guy.
And he's made a lot of appearances this summer, 28 1/3 innings, 10 appearances overall, 2 of those being starts. He's gone at least 2 1/3 innings in his last 6 appearances, so a bit of a long relief role expected for Cooley tonight. And the first pitch, an elevated fastball for ball 1. This will be the first time that Cooley will face Charlottesville this summer. He's been with the Express since the beginning. His first appearance was all the way back on the 2nd of June against Harrisonburg.
Starting Arroyo off here with 2 straight balls.
Arroyo flew out to Hodges in right his last time up. Sends this one to the shortstop, LaSala, on a soft bloop for the first out.
Batting for your Tom Sox, the right fielder, number 23, Nathan Fink.
And the struggles for the Tom Sox lineup continue. It's 4 in a row retired by the Strasburg pitchers. Still have only had base runners via the walk. A walk from Martinez, Teal, and Rivera. And now Fink, who took 3 pitches, all strikes in his first at-bat, will step up to the plate, goes swinging right there, and misses it for the first strike. Cooley, 40 strikeouts through 28 1/3 innings. One of the better K per 9s on the Strasburg team, as Fink flies this one foul. More action in the Charlottesville bullpen, with Halliday getting touched up a little bit, had the 3-run homer in the second, that double for Mitchell Smith in the fourth. That ball off the end of the bat gets past Cooley. The second baseman, Parker, will try and make the throw. He can't do it, and what a way for the Tom Sox to get their first hit. An infield single for Nathan Fink, who loves to drive the ball into the gap. Instead, a little nubber off the end of the bat, but finally the Tom Sox get in the hit column.
That's an unusual way to get a hit there for Fink, but you know what? It's the first hit and a base runner that's much needed in this ball game.
More of a swinging bunt more than anything for Charlottesville, and now Aiden Teal will step in for the Tom Sox. Looking to just get something going. Any type of momentum would be helpful for the Sox right here, as there's a really high hop, and Teal's going to reach base safely. Fink will stay at second base. 2 infield singles for the Sox with 1 away here in the fourth.
Batting for your Tom Sox, the catcher, number 35, Jacob Ferentz.
Yeah, I'm the jinx.
So 2 infield singles for Charlottesville, Fink and Teal. That one took a really high hop off the edge of the lip there at first base. Teal will take it. Everybody for the Tom Sox will take it. And now Jacob Ferentz steps into the batter's box. He takes the first pitch outside for a ball.
Both odd ways to get on base there with that bounce and getting bobbled for Fink, but nonetheless, 1 out, runner in scoring position for the Sox.
It's got to be the weirdest hop I've seen at Cho Airport Field this summer. One of the nicer fields in terms of playing surfaces in the VBL, in terms of at least the grass fields have the couple turf surfaces at Harrisonburg and Winchester, have a really nice field at Percival as well. But, of course, the biases might be coming out. But we haven't really had a ton of bad hops other than that one, but it went the Tom Sox way right there.
Especially when the field is cut in the outfield. Oh, my, it's a beautiful field.
Fresh cut grass. That might have something to do with it. You never know. But quickly, 3-0 the count from Cooley to Ferentz. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, ball 4, and the Tom Sox got something brewing here in the fourth. 2 infield singles and a walk to Ferentz will load the bases for Henry Ford.
Really, you couldn't ask for a better person for this spot.
And now we're going to get a mound visit here from the Strasburg pitching coach, J.C. Sanner. Started out the season as the pitching coach. He's now the interim head coach. Peyton Trawick, the Express manager to begin the season, was hired as the pitching coach at Arkansas State, so he's no longer with the team. His last game that he coached for Strasburg actually was that July 8th matchup between these two teams in Strasburg. So Sanner went from the pitching coach to the interim head coach role, with Vinny Morelli remaining on the staff as the hitting coach and Mike Lutman coming onto the staff as an assistant. Nobody warming up for Strasburg in the bullpen, so it's going to be Cooley remaining in this game. Potential strategy forming right here for Strasburg, maybe keeping the corners in on the grass and having the middle infield set up for a double play. Henry Ford does not ground into a lot of double plays. If anything, he drives the ball into the sky. Not a lot of ground outs for him recently with the bat he's been swinging. And Charlottesville could really use another clutch at bat from Henry Ford right here. And another guy that hasn't struck out a whole lot recently, he sends this one foul. He had a stretch between the 21st and the 26th of July where he had 25 at-bats, didn't strike out in a single one of those, had 2 strikeouts in the Front Royal Series along with 2 hits. But if you want the ball put in play, Henry Ford, one of the best guys to have up right here for the Sox.
Down 0-2 in the count quickly.
Just got to keep fighting with any pitch on the outside part of the plate. Lefty-righty matchup here between Cooley and Henry Ford. With the bases loaded, Fink at third, Teal at second, Ferentz at first. 0-2 fastball dropped by the catcher Ty Hooks. Fink didn't even think about coming, and now we have time called by the third base umpire, and it's going to be a balk. An interesting way for the Tom Sox to get on the board. A balk with the bases loaded brings home Nathan Fink, and the score now 6-1.
We'll take any runs out we can get them, right, Nate?
That's exactly right. Not the flashy way to get the first run across the plate. And now Henry Ford still up, 2 runners in scoring position with the first base bag open. Pitch from Cooley, fastball just misses outside for a ball. The 2-strike count, believe the count will be 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here from Cooley to Ford. Teal now the runner at third with Ferentz the runner at second. The pitch in that one cut on and missed by Ford for strike 3. A rare strikeout recently for Henry Ford. And that's a second out.
For your Tom Sox center fielder number 14, Sergio Rivera.
That's the first strikeout tonight for Max Cooley. And now Sergio Rivera, the speedster, will need to put the ball in play in order to keep this inning going for the Sox. Hit .229 over the regular season. All of his hits were singles. He was 16 for 70 as he takes the first pitch for a strike. And his 2 hits in Front Royal on Saturday were both singles. So not a guy that's going to hit for power, but all the Sox need right now is for him to get one into the outfield. 0-1 off the end of the bat and foul over the batting cage along the first base side. Puts Cooley ahead 0-2.
All you need is a single right here to potentially score 2 and make it a 3-run ball game.
All it takes is one hit to significantly change the tide in this game. 0-2 from Cooley. Comes in on Rivera, doesn't hit him, doesn't get the call, and it'll be 1-2. Back-to-back infield singles for Fink and Teal and a walk for Ferentz set up the bases loaded opportunity for the Sox. A balk by Cooley, brings in the first run. And right there, Ford and Rivera go down on strikes consecutively to end the threat. The Tom Sox get 1, score now 6-1, Charlottesville in trailing. Strasburg in the lead. We head to the 5th. when we come back on Tom Sox TV. Braden Halliday out, Caleb Ketchy in as we begin the fifth here at Cho Airport Field. Nathan Schwartz, Gianni Maltese with you. Gianni, let's recap the night for Braden.
Well, overall, he was able to go 2 2/3, allowed 4 hits, only 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. And 3 strikeouts for him for that outing was pretty good. He definitely worked himself into a couple jams, but overall, it's a 5-run ball game.
He gives up the 3-run home run to Reese Woody rather. Only one of those runs was charged to Braden. 2 were charged to Zach Mack, who finished the day with 4 earned runs on 2 hits. And then the RBI double in the 4th for Mitchell Smith, the other run charged to Braden. And now Caleb Ketchy on the mound for the Sox as we begin the 5th. And first pitch swinging is Cade Parker, who sends one into the left field corner. Garrett Spikes able to get there in plenty of time, and a strong throw will keep Parker at first base. But Parker wastes no time jumping on Ketchy.
Batting for Strasburg, right fielder number 30, Jason Hodges.
Ketchy made a start in his last appearance last Monday in Game 1 of the doubleheader here against Woodstock. He got the win in that game, goes 5 innings, gives up 4 earned runs on 7 hits. He walked 4, only struck out 1. By far his longest outing of the season. We'll see how far he can go tonight. Charlottesville already on its 3rd pitcher and now in the 5th inning. Parker on first after the single, and Hodges swings through the 1-0 right there to even the count.
Going far could be huge, not just in this game, but the series overall here. Quality innings for Ketchy could prove massive in this series for the Tom Sox.
This will be his first postseason appearance. He went 5 appearances in the regular season as the throw down by Ferentz is gonna not nail the runner Parker. The throw was in plenty of time. Not sure whether the ball was dropped by Martinez or the slide by Parker was really good, but from my angle and our angle, Gianni, it looked like Ferentz had the throw in the nick of time.
It looked like the tag was applied right as he was sliding in, but the umpire sees something different.
2nd stolen base tonight for Cade Parker. The 6th stolen base overall by the Express. The pitch was a strike, so 1-2 count, but that pitch outside for Ketchy. A little more on Ketchy. He was 3-0 in those 5 appearances this season. 11 1/3 innings, a 4.76 ERA. 9 walks to 11 strikeouts. 2-2 goes to the slider, and it buckles Hodges. He goes down looking.
Beautiful pitch.
Ketchy only had one strikeout in that 5-inning appearance last Monday. Gets a strikeout right there for the first out of his outing. But now the lineup flips to the top in Reese Woody, who's having a phenomenal postseason so far, and especially tonight, 2 for 2 with a walk and 3 RBIs on that homer back in the second.
Was hot coming into this one, like you said, hitting 462 and is only getting hotter.
Already 8 hits in 15 at-bats this postseason for Reese Woody, with a homer, 2 doubles, and now 5 RBIs. An early candidate for the VBL all-postseason team. As the first pitch to Woody inside with a slider for ball 1. Woody walked back in the first, scored on the Mitchell Smith RBI fielder's choice. He also stole a base during his trip around the base pass. Then, of course, the 3-run homer in the second inning, and then he singled and scored on the Mitchell Smith RBI double in that 4th inning. Now another chance here in the 5th for an RBI with Parker on second. Tom Sox struggled in Game 1 against Front Royal on Thursday, struggling again tonight here in Game 1 of the semifinals as Ketchy's down 3-0 to Woody. Definitely want to pitch around him right here. You can't have the same guy beat you multiple times throughout the course of the game.
Especially with first base being open.
A couple of dangerous hitters behind him. 3-0 fastball, that's in there for strike 1. The road doesn't get any easier for Ketchy after Woody. Logan Vaughn awaits on deck. Mitchell Smith already has 2 RBIs tonight, and he's in the hole. 3-1 from Caleb. Fastball outside for ball 4, and that'll put runners now on first and second with 1 away for the number 2 hitter in Vaughn, who has reached base in all 3 of his at-bats tonight, 2 for 2 with a walk. And with that walk, Woody has now reached base in all 4 of his plate appearances tonight. This continues to be exactly what Strasburg needs at the top of the lineup. First pitch to Vaughn, fastball fouled right by the high school along the third base side for strike 1. Getting to the point for Charlottesville where the way the offense has looked tonight, you can't allow Strasburg to get many more runs. That really goes for any game, but especially tonight, Game 1 of the semifinals. This sets the tone because if the Tom Sox lose tonight, Game 2 is in Strasburg tomorrow, and the Express would have home field advantage with the chance to move on to the championship. 0-1 slider to Vaughn is fouled away to put the count at 0-2, but the home field advantage in these playoffs can mean everything, Gianni.
Oh, absolutely. We talked about that on the On Deck with the Tom Sox podcast, and it really is important, and it's proving to be just that way, as one of our own, Jake Tisdale, mentioned that in the podcast.
The home, road, home format for the higher seed. That's what Charlottesville's looking at, as there's a backwards K right there for Ketchy. His second strikeout of the inning puts the second out on the board.
Both looking as well.
Standing for Strasburg, third baseman number 25, Mitchell Smith.
Charlottesville, in an if-necessary game, if they happen to lose, if the score holds, and then win tomorrow in Strasburg, the do-or-die Game 3 situation that we had last night in the first round would take place on Wednesday here in Charlottesville, as there's a passed ball right there. Actually, a wild pitch is going to allow Woody to get to second base, will allow Parker to get to third. So now 2 runners in scoring position for the Express. First base open for Mitchell Smith, who's 1 for 3 tonight with 2 RBIs. Had a double back in the 4th that scored Woody. 1-0 fastball catches the bottom of the zone, and it'll even the count at 1 apiece.
Probably the biggest at bat here for the Tom Sox pitchers.
Catchy could really use a third out right here and give a little bit of life to the Tom Sox heading into the bottom half of this 5th inning as Catchy blows a fastball past Smith right there for the 2nd strike. Smith started all 58 games for UNC Greensboro this spring. He drove in 40 runs, hit for a .265 average. He's driven in 19 runs during the regular season, 5 runs during the postseason, for 24 overall this summer, and a chance to drive in 2 more right here with a base hit. Fouled off that 1-2 delivery to keep the at-bat at that 1-2 count. He's also looking for his 6th multi-hit game in his last 10. He's already got the 1 hit on the board tonight. And extended his on-base streak to 12 as well with that double in the 4th. 1-2 slider, popped foul. Arroyo doesn't have a play along the foul line.
Just a reminder, fans, you can return foul balls to the concession stand for a special prize.
Tom Sox have plenty of pitchers available. The only ones that really wouldn't be available are Perkins, Eggert, and Utagawa. Everybody else, other than, of course, Halladay and Mack, is available tonight as there's a line drive, shallow left. That is down for a base hit. Parker scores. Here comes Woody around third. The throw home by Spikes is in time to get Woody at the plate, but the damage was done with the base hit. Mitchell Smith gets his 2nd RBI base knock of the night with a single right there, and the score now 7-1 Express. As we head to the bottom of the 5th, I'll hand the play-by-play duties over to my broadcast partner, Gianni Maltese, when we come back on Tom Sox TV.
Just a reminder.
With the amazing walk-up song, Garrett Spikes 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out, now digging in after hosing down the runner after the damage was already done, though, as Express add another run to their tally, and the score reads 7-1, ball 1, to start things off for Spikes.
If there's anybody that could inject some life into the Tom Sox right now, it's going to be Garrett Spikes, who's one of the higher energy guys on the team, loves to get guys into the game, and he's been producing at the plate for the Sox all season long, so not many other people on this team that could ignite a rally like Spikes could right here.
He's been here so long, he's seen everything here in the VBL.
It's the 88th game he's played in over 3 summers in Charlottesville, and he wants to come back next year if eligible.
That would be great for the organization. That one misses low, 2-1 count.
So close to that 100-game mark, and you really just don't see that anywhere in collegiate summer baseball.
That's hit on right to Vaughn. Takes it himself and gets Spikes out for the first out of the bottom of the 5th.
That'll flip the lineup over to the top in Bryce Martinez. Spikes serves as that second leadoff man, where he's got the ability to get on base. He gets a lot of base hits in the bottom of the lineup. And now Martinez, who's been at the top of the lineup all season long, going to try and work out of that leadoff spot and work another walk like he did in the first inning.
Had a walk, was caught stealing, and struck out in his last plate appearance. See if he can do any damage here to get things going. Showed bunt, pulled away, strike anyways. 0-1 count here for Martinez and the Tom Sox. Pitch coming in and swung on hard by Martinez, but got nothing but air. 0-2 count.
Touched on Martinez's average at home this season, including the playoffs, 317. But the most alarming part about that statistic, it's 91 points higher than the next qualified hitter, which would be Connor Hinks, who's hitting just 226 at home this season for Charlottesville. So we've been talking about it on Tom Sox TV all season long, how we just seem to not have the same success at home as we do on the road, whether that be due to the lack of a batter's eye out in center field, the lighting. Regardless, whatever the reason is, it's clear that Martinez is going to be another one of those guys that could simply ignite a rally just by being one of the few guys on the team that enjoys hitting here in Charlottesville.
Yeah, not many guys are, heating up offensively at the plate at home, but Martinez swings through that one and gets his second strikeout of the afternoon. Now coming up is Kyle Edwards trying to get out of his funk. He did have a deep fly out, which is kind of a mental win, and he also struck out.
Yeah, sometimes the bloop single or the bunt can be what gets you out of the slump. We saw him try and square in that first at-bat, but also knowing and getting that mental note that, hey, I was able to drive a ball 320 feet out to left field. It just happened to get caught at the track. That could also be a sign of relief for Edwards as he's trying to break this 0 for 15 slump to begin the postseason.
And starts him off with a ball. Swings right through that one. Good cut, but evens the count at 1. Be great to see a quality at bat here for Kyle Edwards. Fouls that one off to make the count 1-2.
He's been on the ball a lot better tonight. In the past week or so, it's really just seen that he's been lost at the plate, hasn't been seeing the ball well. But tonight he's putting more contact together, more foul balls. We saw him drive that deep pitch. So he's definitely seeing the ball better.
That one's hit well again, but straight to the left fielder, Castillo. To end the bottom of the 5th, and we'll head to the top of the 6th. Score reads 7-1. Express in the lead. Tom Sox TV. We'll be back. We're back here in the top of the 6th as Victor Castillo will lead things off. Reach on a catcher's interference, but other than that, struck out and popped out. Catchy remains on the mound for the Tom Sox. That one's hit on, popped out. Ferentz is trying to find it, but it's nowhere near him. And Arroyo comes in and makes the play for the first out of the top of the inning.
I was eyeing Ferentz the whole time. It looked like it was going to be behind home plate, just drifted its way out to the pitcher's mound. But as long as the Tom Sox were communicating, that's all that matters, and had all 4 infielders converging around the pitcher's mound, Arroyo happened to be the one to make the catch.
Definitely played with me a little bit as I had my eyes just looking at Ferentz, and I'm like, well, he's not getting the ball, and then Arroyo's able to get under it. Michael O'Shaughnessy, the DH, digging in 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a ground out. Ketchy starting him off with a ball. Pitch coming in. That one's way outside, making the count go 2-0.
Ketchy's been a guy that's been able to get some length so far this summer. His first 2 appearances, he went just 1 inning, but the last 3, he's gone at least 2 in each. Went 2 1/3 on the 16th at Waynesboro, went 2 innings on the 21st at Newmarket, and then, of course, we touched on his last appearance, that start from last week against Woodstock where he went 5. So we'll expect to see him probably through the end of this inning, maybe pitch into the 7th inning as well.
It'd be great to see, like we mentioned a little bit earlier, for him to go the length. As it's really important for the rest of the series. Good pitch there by Ketchy, making the count 2-1. See if he can find the strike zone here. He does hit on right to Martinez and able to get it there in time to Arroyo.
Haven't seen a whole lot of ground balls tonight for Charlottesville defensively. I believe that's the 2nd or 3rd ground ball out that they've recorded tonight. A lot of base hits, frankly, for Strasburg. But other than that, we've had strikeouts. Halliday with 3. Mack had 2. Ketchy's got 2 already. So not a whole lot of ground balls, but a good pitch right there to get a 2nd out via the ground ball right there for Ketchy.
First pitch to Hooks, struck out, lined out, and walked in his last plate appearance.
Starts him off with a strike. 0-1 count. Pitch coming in. Goes right through that one for strike 2.
You can tell Ketchy's kind of just saying, I'm going to throw you my best stuff. I'm going to throw as fast as I can. And so far, they really haven't been able to match that energy.
Good stuff so far by Ketchy, coming in a hard relief spot. 0-2 count, big pitch. And again, throws the heat and gets them. 1-2-3 inning for the Tom Sox as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Your Tom Sox will be up. Tom Sox TV. Another amazing walk-up song is Chris Arroyo. Now will lead things off with the Tom Sox down 6. 0 for 2 with a fly-out and pop-out. First pitch comes. Good movement on that one, but just misses outside for a 1-0 count.
Royo, rough start tonight, but hitting .433 over the last 8 games coming into tonight.
Goes the other way, but unfortunately straight to Smith for the first out of the bottom of the 6th.
The one thing about Chris, he's going to be able to hit the ball the other way. A lot of his outs and fly ball outs recently have come on outside pitches that he sits on and drives deep to the left side. Does the same thing there, but gets a more level swing path on it, but lines it right to Smith over there at third base.
Nathan Fink digs in, and he was able to redeem himself after a 3-pitch strikeout. Was able to get that infield single that kind of got things started offensively and got things rolling when really nothing was going on. Second pitch comes in, just clips that outside corner, making it 1-1. One's across the board. Hits this one right to and gets it in time to Vaughn. Out number 2, 2 quick outs as Aiden Teal now digs in for the Tom Sox.
That's 7 in a row retired for Cooley. The last base runner for Charlottesville was the walk for Jacob Ferentz back in the 4th inning, which was following up those 2 infield singles for Fink and Teal. But now right here for Charlottesville, Teal looking to build on a 2-run rally.
He's the guy to do it. He's drew a walk and has a single. First pitch ball right there. Hot hand, but also always finds a way to work the count. Second pitch of the at-bat coming here. That one's kind of popped up, but flied out to the center fielder, Woody. Gets under it and able to make the grab. You got to love, Teal always runs it out no matter where he hits it. We will be back in the top of the 7th. Tom Sox TV. Anthony LaSala now batting for the Express. Walked, stole a base, got hit by a pitch, and lined out. Ketchy back out there for his 3rd inning of relief. First pitch just a little bit low as that one is called ball. Second pitch incoming. That one also just a little bit low. 2-0 count on LaSala. Another called ball for a 3-0 count.
And for LaSala, the Really good at bats tonight. A walk back in the second, the hit by pitch in the third, and the line out to end the fourth. He's keeping that trend going with the really good postseason he's had, and keeps going right there with the 4-pitch walk.
The Express already have 8 hits and counting. Trying to keep that number right where it is.
Do have a right-hander warming up for Charlottesville in the bullpen.
Cade Parker now digging in. Has 2 stolen bases on the evening, 2 singles, and a walk. Swings right through that one for strike number 1. Ketchy gets the call. Pitch comes in and fires it right downtown for a 0-2 count. Game's kind of picked up the pace a little bit here as of late in these last couple innings. Ketchy did work a 1-2-3 inning in his last inning, but right here already can't do that one as La Sala is on first.
I believe it's Lucas Cash warming up for Charlottesville in the bullpen, who had a really good appearance his last time out in his second season with the Tom Sox.
1-2 count. Pitch comes. Runner goes. Swings through that one. Has a chance to get 2. And gets the tag. Applies it before he... And it's safe. Little bit of a strange call there at second.
Yeah, it looks like Ferentz has these throws on the money, and they're in plenty of time, but they're just not sure what the disconnect is between the throw, the tag, and the call. But it looked like that was a bang-bang, strike him out, throw him out double play for Ketchy and the Sox.
Got a little bit ahead of myself. Definitely thought he had him. Jason Hodges now batting. Has a walk, a fly out, and a strikeout. Pitch number 2 coming. Hits that one up. Martinez gets under it and able to make the play for out number 2.
Ketchy's really settled in after that rough start in the 5th inning where he had the leadoff single to Parker, the walk to Woody, the RBI single, but then he got the nice throw by Garrett Spikes to end the inning. He retired all 3 he faced in the 6th, and then the walk to begin the 7th inning, but the strikeout and the pop-out. He's really been mixing in that slider off of the fastball, and he's been locating it, getting some weak contact over the past couple innings.
He's really using his pitches to his advantage and using the off-speed when he needs to, but going back and being reliant on that fastball. And it's proven to be the right call, as there's a runner in scoring position, and the hottest hitter of the day, Reese Woody, has a 3-run homer, a stolen base after his walk in the 1st, a single, and another walk in the 5th. Definitely someone you got to get out here to get a momentum boost going into the bottom of the 7th. Just missing there to make the count 2-0.
Yeah, the Sox can't afford to have Woody get on base for a 5th time tonight. 2 for 2, 2 walks, the homer, the single, back in the 4th inning, and another base hit for him would probably bring in the 8th run of the night for the Express.
Hitting 6 for 13 in the postseason, making out to be a .461 average. 3-0 count. Got to be careful here just in case he does indeed get that green light. He doesn't, and it's ball number 4, and just like you said, he does reach base for the 5th time.
That's really impressive for Reese Woody. He had a .385 on base this regular season to pair with his .320 average, and now he just continues to do everything he can to get opportunities for the hitters after him by just getting on base himself for this postseason. 8 for 15 in 4 games this postseason with now 5 walks drawn.
And it does not get any easier as Logan Vaughn digs in. 2 singles, a walk, and struck out in his last appearance. That one's fouled off for strike 1.
That on-base percentage this postseason for Woody, .650. In in 20 plate appearances with the 5 walks and the 15 at-bats he's had. He's gotten on base 13 times with the walks and the hits combined.
You got to give your props to Ketchy. He's really come in here in a hard spot and got the job done so far. 0-1 count. Took a little bit of time after he fouled that one off himself. Another foul ball. Ketchy quickly gets ahead of him. 0-2 count. O2 pitch. See what he uses from his wheelhouse. That one's way outside for a 1-2 count.
Logan Vaughn, somebody that's put together really quality at-bats tonight. The 2 singles back in the first 2 innings, a long walk in that 4th inning. Had a good at-bat in the 5th before going down looking. Another good at-bat worked right here.
1 pitch is all it takes to get out of this one. Another foul ball, as Arroyo had no chance to get there. Got good attendance here for game 1 of the semifinals here at Show Airport Field. 1-2 count. Pitch comes way high to even the count at 2-2.
You wonder if Ketchy puts on Vaughn right here. Does he make the call to the bullpen and have Lucas Cash come in?
Maybe a good call. Does seem like he's running out of juice a little bit with his command. Velocity still seems to be there, but the command is getting a little bit loose. Full count, 2 outs. Vaughn still the batter. Big pitch comes in, and low to load the bases.
It's been the walk this inning for Ketchy that's been the problem. His 3rd walk, LaSala reaches on the free pass, Woody, and now Vaughn with back-to-back walks. And it looks like Ketchy's going to stay in the ball game and try and work out of this jam facing Mitchell Smith, who already has 3 RBIs tonight.
Hit into a fielder's choice, struck out, had a double, and a single. Huge AB here. Starts him off with a ball. Ketchy looking to escape the jam. Another ball there to make the count 2-0.
Now Chris Arroyo going to come have a chat with Ketchy, try to cool him down a little bit. And a big couple pitches upcoming right here. A walk brings in another run for the Express and starts to limit the amount of production the Tom Sox are going to have to be able to make at the plate in these next 3 innings.
You got to give yourself a chance to come back. It's already a mountain to climb. 2-0 count. Pitch comes in way high. 1 pitch away from walking in a run. He's going to have to find the strike zone here. And as you mentioned, he's only allowed 2 hits, but the walks have really been the issue for Ketchy. Just able to find the inside corner of the strike zone to make the count 3-1. A hitter's count. But the at-bat stays alive, and Ketchy gives himself another chance. That one's low. Wild pitch there. Walk anyways. As a run comes in, and Victor Castillo will be the next man up. And head coach Lyndon Coleman will make his way, and we'll see if this could be Cash's game. That seems as if it should be the end for Ketchy, and it is. We'll be right back. Tom Sox TV. Caleb Ketchy's night will be over, and his line reads 2 2/3 innings pitched, allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, 5 walks, which was the issue, 4 strikeouts, as Lucas Cash now enters the game for the Tom Sox, who was absolutely phenomenal in his last appearance on the 25th of July against Front Royal. Got the W, went 5 innings, allowed only 1 hit, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. So hopefully a lot more of the same today, as the bases will remain loaded for Strasburg. What are you looking to see tonight from Lucas Cash? And already, down by 7.
I think the biggest thing is just going to be limiting the walks. Mack with 3 walks in an inning and a third. Halliday with 3 walks in 2 2/3. Ketchy with 5, as you just mentioned, over 2 2/3 innings as well. So that's already 11 walks through the first 6 2/3 innings for Charlottesville tonight. That's just not a recipe for success at any level, especially in a game like this where the first game of the series is very important. Since 2013, 79% of the teams that win Game 1 of the playoff series go on to win that series in the Valley Baseball League. If both of these teams turn that tide by losing Game 1 in the first round, Strasburg to Woodstock, Charlottesville to Front Royal, they came back to win Games 2 and 3. But in this series, only one of these teams is going to be able to do that. And with Strasburg having home field advantage tomorrow in Game 2, it's crucial that Charlottesville finds some way to try and put together a massive rally and come back and win this game over the final 3 at-bats.
Especially just get some runs on the board, really. Give the offense some confidence going into the next game, as you said, which is home field advantage for Strasburg. Victor Castillo is now the batter. Had that catcher's interference, struck out and popped out twice, as Cash's first 2 pitches are balls. Two-0 count. Still 2 outs on the board. Just really have to find a way to get out of this top half of the inning and give yourselves a chance in the bottom of the 7th. That one's in there for a called strike. 2-1 count.
And for Cash, this will be his 4th appearance between the regular season and the postseason. 1-0 in the season in 8 1/3 innings, a 3.24 ERA, 5 walks to 3 strikeouts. So definitely a pitch to contact guy.
2-1 count. Pitch comes in. That one's in the dirt. Hitters count. 3-1 count.
Once again, another ball, another run for Strasburg. So you really have to challenge Castillo and make him beat you with the bat and not allow him to just get that free pass to bring in another run.
As you mentioned, giving up that many free passes is not an easy way to win a ball game. As Henry Ford tries to get under this one, we'll see if he runs out of room. And he's able to make the catch right on the fence line. And Lucas Cash comes in, works himself into a hard 3-1 count, but able to get the last out, and we'll head to the bottom of the 7th. Tom Sox TV. Cooley remains on the mound for Strasburg Express. Already have gone 3 innings, only allowed 1 run and only 2 hits and 1 walk. Jacob Ferentz now batting for the Tom Sox. Pop out and a walk. First pitch just missing the outside corner, 1-0.
He had hits in 5 of his first 6 games in Charlottesville, this being the 7th game he's appeared in this summer. Did get on base, as you mentioned, Gianni, back in that 4th inning. Still looking to break through and reach the outfield grass tonight.
Ahead early in the count, 2-0 here. It's about that time for a rally. Fouls that one off. Makes count 2-1. Big couple at bats coming up for the Tom Sox. The UVA duo, Ferentz and Ford, is on deck. That one clips the outside corner to even the count at 2-2.
Ferentz, a really good 2-strike hitter, and a guy in Cooley so far that's had a lot of success with the put-out pitch. 3 strikeouts over his first 3 innings of work, and make that another one right there.
Batting for your Tom Sox, the third baseman, number 5, Henry Ford.
Henry Ford now batting, struck out and popped out, looking to get on base for the first time this evening. First pitch coming from Cooley. Way high, 1-0 count. Really just got to start putting the ball in play more. Give yourselves a chance. Pops that one up. Parker going back, gets under it, and able to make the play for out number 2. Sergio Rivera now digging in, walked, has a stolen base, and has struck out.
And for Cooley, he's had all of his pitches working tonight. He's retired 10 in a row. The last base runner for Charlottesville was that walk for Ferentz that we just alluded to back in the 4th inning. So he's gone a whole time through now for the Charlottesville lineup without giving up a base runner. And for Ford, that was the 10th in a row he's retired. Now here comes Rivera, who's already reached base once tonight. But really for Charlottesville, there really just hasn't been any momentum at the plate to have anything happen. Really only the 4th inning was anything productive that happened at the plate. The 2 infield singles, the walk, and then the balk. And then other than that, there's been nothing doing for Charlottesville.
That one gets down,
And the good announcer jinx as Sergio Rivera gets himself a single.
I'd, in all honesty, say it's the second time tonight we've seen good contact from a Tom Sox hitter. The only other one being when Chris Arroyo lined out to lead off the 6th inning. Other than that, and the single right there for Rivera, when the ball's been put in play, it's either been a pop-up or a weak ground out or a weak fly ball out to the outfield. So it's good to see another Tom Sox hitter piece up a baseball right there and maybe spark a 2-out rally for Spikes in the top of the lineup.
Who else you want right here? Garrett Spikes. 2 ground outs. That one's in the dirt. Sergio Rivera will easily get to second. And a runner in scoring position for Garrett Spikes and your Tom Sox. Able to advance to second via the wild pitch. 1-0 count. Mr. Tom Sox is batting. Hits that one well to right field. That one's going to bring in a run. He'll have to stop it first as Hodges hoses that one in. And the lead is trimmed down to 6, little by little, which is exactly what you're going to have to do to give yourselves a chance to come back in this ball game.
Mr. Tom Sox broke the Tom Sox RBI record last Wednesday in Purcellville, and he adds another one right there. It's his 3rd RBI of the postseason, and his 16th RBI overall this season for Charlottesville. He just keeps adding to the legacy.
Back to the top of the batting order with Bryce Martinez, as that one's another wild pitch and another runner in scoring position for the Tom Sox, as Spikes is easily able to get into second. Martinez has struck out twice and was caught stealing after his walk in the first.
Now the Tom Sox starting to get aggressive on the base pass with those wild pitches that really haven't gotten too far away from Ty Hooks behind the plate, but they've gotten away enough to where the runners have been able to advance up 90 feet.
That one's way inside, almost hits Martinez, but ahead in the count, 2-0. It's good to finally see the offense start to come alive again, since the 4th was really the only time we put pressure on these express pitchers. Martinez bloops that one, has a chance to get down, and the diving play isn't able to get under it. Woody. Martinez will stay at first, but another run comes in for Garrett Spikes and the Tom Sox. Great diving effort there by Woody, but 3 straight singles with 2 outs are finally giving the Tom Sox some life, and now it's a 5-run ball game. Huge opportunity here for Kyle Edwards.
Time to get the rally caps on because the Sox are starting to get hot a little bit. You mentioned those 3 straight singles. 3 really well-hit baseballs right there for Rivera, Spikes, and Bryce Martinez. It looked like that ball was going to hang up long enough to where Woody in center field was going to be able to get there in time. He makes the sliding attempt, hits off of the glove. Going to credit that with a single all the way for Martinez. And now, can Kyle Edwards break out of this funk? It would be a perfect time for him to do so, even if he's just able to prolong the inning and get to Arroyo, who's in the on-deck circle. That would be huge for this Tom Sox lineup, especially for Arroyo, who's got a power jolt as of late.
Martinez also a huge threat to steal. We will see if head coach Lyndon Coleman is aggressive, as he was caught stealing once today already. Kyle Edwards, Bay, now batting. Swinging. Getting nothing but air, though, on the first pitch of the at-bat. Seeing the ball much better today than he has recently. Just unable to get any hits to recognize that. Martinez with a slight lead, not going anywhere. That one's in the dirt, but a good block there by Hooks keeps Martinez at first. 1-1 count. Another big opportunity for Edwards to get out of his recent funk. Pitch coming. Fouls that one off. 1-2 count.
Now, Kyle has had a lot of success this season with 2 outs and hasn't been there recently, but he's still going to put together a good at-bat and foul some pitches off.
Just got to keep the line moving here. Able to get that base hit. There you go, Kyle. He has been needing that one. 2 on the bases and another runner in scoring position as Martinez easily gets into second.
It was only a matter of time for Kyle to get that base hit. He breaks an 0-for-16 start to this postseason, and he's really struggled in the postseason his 2 years here in Charlottesville. Last year was 1-for-18 in the postseason, was 0-for-13 to start, but finally gets that base hit and really just ends a brutal stretch for him since July the 20th.
And truth be told, no one's harder on Kyle than himself. That one goes right off the bag. Arroyo is able to get there in time because of the error. That'll be an E4 on Parker. And Martinez crosses the plate, and the lead is trimmed all the way down to only 4. Runners on the corner, Edwards on third, and Arroyo on first. As the power hitter, huge opportunity here for Nathan Fink.
What has happened in this ball game? Down to 2 outs in the 7th inning, no life, 4 straight singles for Rivera, Spikes, Martinez, and Edwards, who finally breaks out of that slump, and then Arroyo, little weak ground ball up the middle, but a throwing error by LaSala, the shortstop, allows this inning to continue and another run across the plate, and now all it takes is one swing of the bat for this to become a one-run ball game, but that's going to end the line for Cooley.
We'll be right back as the mound visit will end and a pitching change will happen. Tom Sox TV, we'll be right back. Nathan Fink batting for your Tom Sox as a pitching change for Strasburg Express. Still 2 outs as the 2-out rally looking to continue here. That one came all the way in on Fink. 1-0 count. Ends the night for Cooley as he went 3 2/3, allowed 6 hits, 3 earned runs, a walk, and 4 strikeouts.
Cooley is responsible for Edwards on third and Arroyo on first. Given though, if any run were to cross the plate, it would be unearned now after the error by LaSalle at shortstop. So the 3 earned runs will be the final amount of earned runs that Cooley will give up tonight.
That one's just chopped. He has a chance to get there in time and able to get there in time, and another run crosses the plate. Kyle Edwards makes his way home, and Nathan Fink has his second infield single. And the 2-out rally continues here in the bottom of the 7th, and it's only a 3-run ball game. And who else would you rather have right here than the hot-hitting Aiden Teal? A walk, a single, and a flyout. That one's in there on the outside corner, 0-1 count.
No matter how this inning finishes for Charlottesville, it's clear that this game is way different than it was about 15 minutes ago. And the Sox are back in it. The crowd's back into it.
Teal's able to get it down. And Arroyo has to stop at third. Good call there by Coach Lyndon Coleman. And the bases are loaded here for Jacob Ferentz.
The Sox are now batted around here in this 7th inning. Ferentz led off the inning with a strikeout. And remember, this is all coming with 2 outs. Ferentz and Ford began the inning, strikeout and a pop out to the second baseman. But now 6 hits for Charlottesville since that second out. The error prolonged the inning. And now one swing of the bat could bring this within 1, tie it, or give the Sox the lead.
That's exactly right. That one just misses, 1-0 count. Every ball matters here. A walk does bring in a run for the Tom Sox. One 0 count. That one's in there for a strike. Hooks dropped it, but that one was right in there.
Yeah, you don't see when the catcher drops the ball a lot of the time that the home plate umpire will call it a strike. But Shaner, the home plate umpire, Fred Shaner, gives Griffith the call right there. And while we have a little bit of time, let's talk about Logan Griffith while we have some time while they have the mound visit. Griffith making his 10th appearance overall this summer for Strasburg. He did throw 5 innings in the 11-7 loss in Game 1 for Strasburg in the playoffs. On Thursday, gave up only 1 earned run on 6 hits, walked 2, struck out 4. So a really good relief appearance for him after the starter didn't even go a full inning in that one for Strasburg. So really good overall performance for Griffith in his 9 appearances so far this season. Looking to keep the lead in Strasburg's favor right now.
That one's way outside. 2-1. The biggest AB here for the Tom Sox offensively, and it's Jacob Ferentz batting. That one misses. Hitters count, 1 ball away from potentially bringing in another run as Arroyo's on third, Fink's on second, and Teal on first. Pitch coming. Just slices this one, and it's going to be an easy tag because he ran out of the baseline anyways. Vaughn able to apply the tag, but momentum finally goes the Tom Sox way as they tack on 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th. 8-5, Express in the lead. We'll be right back for the top of the 8th. Michael O'Shaughnessy now batting. 2 groundouts and 2 strikeouts. Lucas Cash still on the mound. First pitch comes in the dirt. 1-0 count.
Johnny, this game has completely changed. 8-1 going into that bottom of the 7th inning, 2 outs. Charlottesville seems like it's going to be another 1-2-3 inning, but then comes the offense. 6 hits, 4 runs come across the plate, and now it's a 3-run game. If Lucas Cash can get 3 quick outs here and get the bottom third of the Tom Sox lineup back up, this could turn into a really competitive game if the Sox are able to get a run or 2 in that bottom of the 8th inning.
The Tom Sox have shown all season they don't waver and they don't give up. And we saw that in the original series versus the Cardinals. That one is hit, and coming into it is Sergio Rivera, but it drops and a single for his first hit of the ball game.
Well, nothing kills the momentum that Charlottesville set up right there in that last inning. More like a leadoff single right there for O'Shaughnessy. And when Strasburg's gotten the leadoff man on, there's been a lot of good things that have happened tonight. When they scored in the first, the 4th, and the 5th innings, they had the leadoff man on in all 3 of those innings. Even in the 7th inning as well, when they had the 4 walks, the leadoff man LaSala drew a walk. So 4 times tonight where they've had the leadoff man on, they've scored in that inning.
Good stuff, Nate.
That's what I'm here for.
1-0 count. Cash delivers, and foul ball into the glove of Ferentz. 1-1 count. Ty Hooks batting. Struck out twice, lined out, and has reached base via the walk. That one's just low. Definitely found his pitch there, but just low. 2-1 count. Got to keep giving yourselves chances to come back, but you really can't afford to allow any more runs in this one. 3-1. Count goes in the batter's favor. Ty Hooks. Looking for the first out in the top of the 8th. That one's laced right to Spikes. Able to get to it. Good play. Read that one perfectly off the bat.
That's a really important play there for Charlottesville. That one falls in front of Spikes. You have runners on second and first with nobody out. But if Spikes also, he sold out for that one. If that ball gets by him, that's a run for O'Shaughnessy. He's going to come all the way around to score. Hooks might get all the way to third base with how far and hard that ball was hit. So really crucial play for Spikes that he was able to track that one down.
Anthony LaSala now digging in. Stolen base, 2 walks, hit by pitch, and a line out, as the first pitch he sees is low and called ball. Will be a huge opportunity in the bottom of the 8th if the Tom Sox are able to get out of this one unharmed. 1-1 count, 1 out on the board. Another big pitch here for Cash. Able to drop it in there, pops him up. Edwards calling everyone off, able to get under it and make the play for a huge out for out number 2.
The more huge outs you can get, the more momentum you start to bring back. You had that leadoff single. Momentum kind of flickers a little bit, but now if you can get Parker right here and get the bats back with Ford, Rivera, and Spikes to lead off the bottom of the 8th, there could be some real damage that could be made for the Tom Sox in this bottom of the 8th inning.
And as you mentioned, the batter is Cade Parker. 2 for 3, 2 stolen bases, 2 singles, a walk, and a strikeout. And starts off right here with a strike. Got to give credit to Lucas Cash after that leadoff single. That one's right in there for called strike 2. Big pitch coming from Cash. We'll see if he does a throwaway pitch or gives him the best shot. Kind of a throwaway pitch there. Didn't bite at it. Had the opportunity to. Count is now 1-2.
Cade Parker, rough start to the postseason, 0 for 10 in that Woodstock series. 2 big hits tonight. 2 for 3 with a walk in the game. Can he extend this inning right here for Strasburg?
Did he go around? No, he did not. 2-2 count. Had it 0-2, now 2 consecutive balls. That one's fouled off and out of play.
There does seem to be 2 arms warming up in the Charlottesville bullpen, a lefty and a righty. Not exactly sure who either of the arms are from my point of view.
Cash delivers. This one's popped up. Going to be a tough play, but Arroyo gets under it and able to make the play, giving themselves a chance. Heading to the bottom of the 8th, down by 3. Your Tom Sox will be batting. Tom Sox TV. Henry Ford leading things off for the Tom Sox in the bottom of the 8th. Popped out twice and has struck out. Big chance to redeem himself and start things right for the Tom Sox. That one is in there for a called strike.
Henry's been red hot, touched on it earlier, hitting .500 over the last 6 games. Over the last 5 games in the regular season, he was hitting .533.
That one should get down, heading towards the gap and able to get through. Ford's going to second. Stand up, lead off, double for your Tom Sox.
Right on cue for Henry Ford. The power surge continues over the last 7 games now. 6 extra base hits for him, 3 doubles, 3 homers, and that momentum that we were talking about flickering in that top half of the 8th inning comes right back with that leadoff double right there. Now Sergio Rivera already has a hit tonight. Lyndon Coleman has the decision to make of whether to bunt Rivera or to have him swing away.
And the one who started the 7th 2-out rally, a good bunt by Rivera, but it goes just foul. Almost perfectly placed. He was practically at first base when they were able to pick up the ball. But a 0-1 count as Rivera comes back and Ford will go back to second.
That answers our question of what was going to happen right there between what Lennon Coleman was thinking and what Sergio Rivera was thinking. You can't lay a bunt down much better than that, other than, of course, it being in fair territory. It just went off the chalk. I wouldn't be surprised to see Sergio try it again right here.
He has one more strike to try it. We'll see if he does so here. Does not, but able to keep it fair down the right field line. Henry Ford rounding third, able to come home easily. Sergio Rivera digging into second with a sliding effort and able to get in there. And just like that, the Tom Sox are only down by 2. 0 outs, another runner in scoring position, and the Tom Sox may just be hot right in time.
The first double of the season, playoffs and regular season for Sergio Rivera, could not have come at a better time. Inside out swing right down the right field line, and now Garrett Spikes calling his shot right here, wiggling the bat. What will he do right here?
Send it to the moon. Spikes starts him off with a ball. Well, he sent it to the moon, but straight to the center fielder as Woody gets under it. Sergio Rivera, Deke's going to third, but goes right back to second. Back to the top of the order, Bryce Martinez. See what Martinez can do here in a huge spot for the Tom Sox. Rivera has about as big of a lead as you can get. And does he avoid the tag? Yes, he does. Safe at third. Rivera steals his second bag of the afternoon.
And he got a terrible jump on that pitch. Didn't even take off until the pitch was already thrown. He got a pretty good secondary lead, decided to go back a step in case the second baseman or the shortstop was behind him. But now he's at third, and the Sox, if Rivera scores, are just one run away from a tie game.
Martinez is 1 for 3 as he struck out twice, singled, and walked. Was part of the 2-out rally in the bottom of the 7th. See if he can put it in play again here, trying to get the lead down to 1 for the Express. 0-2 count, and ends up hitting him. An 0-2 count, you will take that as Martinez stares down the pitcher. Did not like that. Runners on the corner, and Kyle Edwards finally got out of his funk and got a single in his last at-bat. Huge opportunity here with Abebe coming up.
Now mound visit. We'll see if Strasburg makes a change. There was somebody warming up in the bullpen. Right-hander Logan Griffith struggled here in this inning. The leadoff double for Henry Ford, the double for Rivera, and now the hit by pitch for Martinez. But it looks like it's either going to be a ploy to get the pitcher warming up some extra time to warm up, or just strategize what they're going to do here, because the infield was drawn in during that at-bat for Martinez after the stolen base. So will they keep the infield in? Will they try and go for the double play? We'll find out. The home plate umpire, Fred Shaner, going out to end this mound visit. But a big spot here. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Kyle Edwards and Chris Arroyo up. Somebody, there's this energy in this place right now that you feel like somebody's going to make something happen.
Someone's bound to make that play.
And whether it's Kyle Edwards to bring in the game within 1, or whether it would be Chris Arroyo after him, it's just the energy, Gianni. It's different right now than it's been in the last hour or so at the ballpark.
You just absolutely feel it. The whole ballpark, just the energy in these last 2 innings have been incredible. Let's see what Edwards is able to do here with Martinez on first and Rivera on third. Martinez going, Edwards hits that one right up. Rivera has a chance to come home, and the throw ends up coming into first as Martinez was in no man's land, and the inning, just like that, is heading towards the top of the ninth, and the Tom Sox blow a absolutely perfect opportunity to get this within one or even tie the ball game. This is Tom Sox TV. We'll be right back. Davian Garcia now entering the game for the Tom Sox in the top of the ninth, just trying to really keep this one within two, giving themselves more of a chance to try to come back, as it's been a huge mountain to climb, but we'll see if they can do it right here in the ninth. That'll end the day for Lucas Cash as he went 1 1/3, 1 hit allowed, no runs, really came in and did his job, keeping the ball game as close as possible. And Davian Garcia now enters with his last appearance on the 21st of July against Newmarket. He did earn the save, went 3 innings pitched, no hits, no runs, 4 walks, and 6 strikeouts. What else do you have, Nate?
Well, you said it. The 21st of July was the last time we saw Davian. That was 10 days ago. He had to miss about a week or so due to a previous obligation that he had, and then the timing just hadn't been right for him to get into the ball game. But now a big spot to try and keep this game within 2. The Tom Sox offense is on fire right now. Really unfortunate play to end that bottom of the 8th inning. But Davian Garcia, he's had really good spurts of baseball this year and a lot of not so good moments as well. Lyndon Coleman and company hoping this is going to be one of those really good moments for Davian this summer.
Well, we shall see as Jason Hodges digs in, walked in his first at bat, flew out, popped out, and struck out. First pitch coming from Davian Garcia. In there for called strike 1.
The last 2 appearances for Davian have been really solid. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 5 walks, 11 strikeouts.
Second pitch coming. That one's hit well right to Fink in right field, and a leadoff single for the number 9 hitter, Hodges.
That's one of the things in Davian's game that you're just going to have to deal with. The ball comes in super fast. It's mid-90s with the fastball, which means if you get a barrel on it, it's going to exit just as fast, and that's the same thing right there for Hodges against one of these other pitchers earlier. Maybe that's a little bit of a weaker line drive. Maybe gets Arroyo a chance to retreat back a little bit and get to it, or maybe it gets hit right to him. But with the velocity right there for Davian, it goes right over the head of Arroyo and puts the leadoff man on for Strasburg.
And a huge hill to climb here for Garcia as he faces the top of the order. Reese Woody is absolutely going crazy today. He has a 3-run home run, a single, and 3 walks. That one goes right to Garcia, but he bobbles the ball and unable to get it to first That'll be an E1 and runners on first and second for the Express in the top of the ninth.
And that was a gimme out right there for Garcia. He had it himself, had it in the glove. He just panicked a little bit. And now a golden opportunity for Vaughn to try and extend the Strasburg lead.
2 singles, 2 walks, and a strikeout on the day for Logan Vaughn. No outs, runner in scoring position. Not what you wanted if you're the Tom Sox. Let's see if Garcia can get out of the jam. That one's low. Ferentz throws to second into Edwards, and he's called out for out number 1. And there goes Hodges as he will walk back to the dugout as he is out. Finally, one gets called out as Ferentz has been on point, pinpoint accuracy with his throws today.
It's good to see Ferentz finally get credited right there with throwing out a runner, because it seems like it's been bang, bang all night long. But right there, really good awareness, knowing that Hodges was drifting a little bit on the bunt and wasted no time firing that ball back to second base. And Kyle Edwards was ready for it at second as well.
They were definitely on the same page, and great awareness by both players there, Edwards and Ferentz, as you mentioned. 1-1 count. Now just the base runner on first. That one's just outside. Well-located pitch by Garcia.
This is the second time that Davian will face Strasburg this season. He went 2/3 of an inning on July 8th in Strasburg. Only gave up 1 hit, but did give up 4 earned runs. Walked 3 and struck out 1 batter. So Strasburg has touched him up at points this season. We'll see if he can limit that damage here in this 9th inning. And he already started it off pretty well after the single in the air, getting that pickoff.
3-1 count. Garcia finds his pitch. This one right to Spikes. Able to get under it and get this second out. Definitely not how you would have thought this would have played out, with runners on first and second with no outs. Turns quickly in the Tom Sox favor. 2 outs with the base runner just on first. Mitchell Smith now batting. Had an RBI double, an RBI single, and got an RBI from the fielder's choice. Has a walk and a strikeout. That one's fouled off and out of play. Pitch comes in. Misses inside. 1-1.
Davian's just got to bring in that heat right here. A lot of hitters aren't going to be able to catch up to it. Mitchell Smith's had a great day so far, 4 RBIs. You don't want to necessarily pitch around him and put him on base. I would just attack him with a fastball, but keep it on the outside part of the plate.
That one's high. 2-1 count. Big at bat here. Able to find that outside corner. Absolute paint job there by Garcia. 2-2 count. 1 pitch away from getting out of the top of the 9th. And he does it. He strikes him out. What a pitch and a great outing after that error by Garcia. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th and see what our Tom Sox can do. This is Tom Sox TV. Down to the last 3 outs. Let's see what the Tom Sox can do. We're starting things off with Chris Arroyo. Reached on an error, flew out, popped out, and lined out. Starts him off with a ball. Griffith still on the mound. 1-0 count. Pitch comes in. Good cut. Unable to get good wood on it. 1-1 count.
The 0 for 4 tonight for Chris, but he's gotten hits in 11 of his last 13, including the playoffs. So a guy that's been pretty consistent in getting on base with a hit, and with a lower velocity here from Griffith. You saw right there, he just missed the 1-0 pitch. Could put some good wood on it right here.
That one just missing. 2-1 count. Big spot for Arroyo. Just swings through that one. 2-2 count. Looking over to the dugout. Back in the batter's box for a huge pitch. As he swings right through that one for out number 1.
Batting for your Tom Sox, right fielder number 23.
Fink now batting. 2 singles on the day, a strikeout, and a ground out. First pitch coming, he pops him up. Vaughn gets under it, right on the line for a quick out number 2. Down to the last out of game 1 of the semifinals. Aiden Teal.
And all he has to do is get on base, Gianni. That should be his lone priority right here. Don't try and be the hero and send this ball over the fence, because in all honesty, that run wouldn't matter as long if he scores and then Ferentz gets out. So you want to extend this inning, get on base, and then leave it up to the other guys to pick you up.
Exactly right. Ball 1. Aiden Teal on the afternoon has 2 singles, a flyout, and a walk. Has reached base 3 times. Fouled that one way over the press box. 1-1 count. It's the hardest thing to do, but exactly what you have to do in this situation. Don't do too much. You don't need a homer. You just need to find a way to get on base as he watches ball 2 go by him. 2-1 count. Jacob Ferentz is on deck. Absolute moonshot, but that one is foul. He saw that one. He had his pitch. Just didn't time it to perfection. 2s across the board. Tom Sox down to their last strike. Hits that one well. And Hodges is under it, and that's it. That's the ball game. Strasburg Express takes game 1 by a score of 8-6. What an insane comeback it would have been for the Tom Sox. They did rally. They came back, just not enough and a little bit too late.
Yeah, it was really that 4-run second inning where you go back, and that was the turning point of the game. The first out recorded, then 2 walks and a single, and then an error bring in 1 run, and then a 3-run homer for Reese Woody really blows the top off that second inning to make it 5-0. And when you're down 5-0, it was eventually a 6-0 lead before the Tom Sox did anything offensively. It's really tough to come back and win a baseball game like that. You get the 5 runs between the 7th and the 8th innings, and a really good comeback effort, but the Tom Sox come up just short.
Both teams had 10 hits on the evening. Great ball game here for game number 1 at Show Airport Field. We'll be heading to Strasburg for game number 2 tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be do or die for the Tom Sox the next 2 days. Strasburg can advance to the championship with a win at home tomorrow. The Tom Sox need to fight for their lives to get back here to Cho Airport Field on Wednesday for winner-take-all Game 3.
We've been in this spot before. Let's see if the Tom Sox can do it again. For Nathan Schwartz, I'm Gianni Maltese. Thank you all for listening, and this is Tom Sox TV.